Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 481 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. This is recorded live on Sunday, April 10th, 2022. I'm Chris, and boy, April 10th, 2022. That means we got 5 days till taxes are due, boys. Willie Nelson, you square with the tax man yet?
Is my name Willie Nelson? I don't do taxes. I live up to my namesake. You hear me, government? Fuck you.
Okay,
now he's in trouble.
So Willie's going to
I will
jail
pay
for
taxes.
tax
They
evasion.
legalize everything. It's Willie Nelson. I don't know. I'm just going with the Willie Nelson bit. I don't know if it's working.
We're going to need a new host when Willie gets put in jail for tax evasion, because even in the cushy white-collar prisons, they won't let him do a podcast, I'm sure.
Maybe.
Mr. Anthony Bachman, are you square with the tax man?
Square as can be. Fucker didn't send me enough money, though.
Tax man never sends enough money, man.
That's some bullshit.
Tax man never gives us the money we want. They take all the money. Take it all.
Yeah, something I don't understand. There's income tax, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also sales tax that you have to pay when you buy anything. So you're taxed at least twice for everything you get.
Basically.
No,
That
because
doesn't
that product
make
you buy
sense.
is not then taxed as part of your federal income tax.
And you know what? Let me bring this up too. I probably said it before, but Chris, Mr. West Virginia,
Yes.
the West Virginia Turnpike can suck a dick.
I don't disagree. But the West Virginia
Because
Turnpike
why is it a toll road when it's in that bad of disarray?
Because every road in West Virginia sucks.
Then don't be a toll road. That you have
Don't-
two options:
Don't
be
ask.
a toll road and have good roads, or don't have a toll road and have shitty roads.
You're asking me to explain the logic behind how the state of West Virginia handles road maintenance. There is no logic. I live in this state. It's just you drive around the potholes. You know how a drunk driver is constantly swerving all around the road because they think they're about to hit something? That's how a sober West Virginia driver drives because of all the goddamn potholes. We're always just like, oh God, oh God, oh God, and just jerking
yeah,
the
they
wheel
catch
around.
the drunk drivers because they
'Cause they're
don't
driving
try
straight.
and swerve them. They just
Yeah. Exactly. I wish I could say I was kidding, but one of the roads that I leave when I was having to go into the office from my house, I kid you not, I had memorized the pothole pattern because when it rained, you couldn't see them. So you would know the people that drove that road all the time because we'd all be following the same meandering path. And the people that didn't, you just hear tsh, tsh, as they'd hit these giant puddles and drive through and probably bend a rim. It's terrible in this state. The roads are terrible. I have no excuse for it. And I don't know much about the turnpike because I don't live in that part of the state.
Fair
There ain't no
enough. Yeah, that
turnpike
was
up here.
when I was doing that trucking thing. Yeah, that was the worst fucking state to go through.
I don't disagree with you, man. I don't like Southern West Virginia, and I live in West Virginia.
And I used to hate driving through Virginia because usually when you have to go to Virginia, you're going through Virginia. It takes so fucking long to go through Virginia. Jesus Christ.
And that's before you get to places where there's lots of traffic.
Yeah. It's like, oh, trees. Oh, hey, more
It's
trees.
still not as bad as driving through Kansas.
Never done it.
Yeah, dude, I kid you not. You could lock the cruise control in at 70 miles an hour and just go to sleep. And you're not going to hit anything because it's just, the interstate is just straight ahead and there's nothing there besides corn.
That's like Nebraska.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nebraska's
how
the
you
same.
locking
There
your
ain't
wheel
nothing-
to
There's
go
like 3
straight?
trees in the whole state.
Well, a lot of cars nowadays have lane keep assists. I mean, this is obviously an exaggeration and kind of a joke. But, I mean, in theory, when you're in Kansas on the interstate, there
Well,
ain't much to worry about.
I mean, that's just beeps at you if you get too close to a line is what it is, right?
Well, it depends on the vehicle. My car, for instance, if you ignore it enough times, will disengage, and some other cars will also pull over automatically if you ignore the lane keep
what do you mean
assist.
disengage? Like where you can't push the accelerator?
It'll turn everything off and make me and start beeping insanely at me and put me back in control and disable it for a time.
I mean, I hope it'll let you at least steer away.
Yeah,
Otherwise, like,
it'll
nope,
let
you're
you- it'll let
locked
you
in
do
what
that.
you fucked up with.
But my understanding is some of these cars that have like this advanced lane keep assist and driver assist stuff, some of them now are designed so that if you try and cheat the system, it basically just pulls over and says, nope, you have to drive on your own now.
My vehicle has one of the where it beeps lower at you. I turn that shit off.
Yeah.
I'm in a lane. I'm a good driver. I know what the fuck I'm doing.
My car
More
has
than-
that too, and it thinks you're
well-
leaving the lane. I'm like, no, I'm hugging the right side of the lane because the middle of the road's terrible. Stop beeping at me.
Well, I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I'm probably a better driver than both of you combined.
Do you have any evidence to back that up?
I've probably driven more than both of you combined already.
Do you have any evidence to back that up?
Yeah, it's right here.
For those on audio, Willie's flipping us the bird.
Yeah, a little bird whispered in my ear and said, "Tweet, tweet."
Tweet, tweet, mother trucker.
Oh, I love that song. Trunk full of amps, motherfucker. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, what I have?
You were going to start the show with some stuff on PlayStation news, right?
Well,
Or
I mean,
an
not right now.
anecdote on PlayStation stuff, wasn't it? I don't remember what it was. You had something you wanted to start
Oh, no, I
the
was
show
going to
with.
mention that a
but I
little bit
can't
later, but I
remember.
actually have something first I want to
Ooh.
say. It might,
Is it controversial?
probably.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I think, I mean, I've probably been feeling it for a while, but I didn't really think about it. Marvel fatigue is setting in, man.
Bullshit.
It's like I get it. I get it. It's going. It's still going. I'm not saying it shouldn't be a thing, but I'm caring less and less about it.
I think that could be the case for some folks. I mean, some folks are really invested in seeing the end of the story with all these characters they knew, and now it's introducing a bunch of new folks. They're like, I don't need to hop on. I get it.
See, the end of the story. What are you talking about? Have you seen comics? Their story never ends.
Yeah, but from a
Exactly.
narrative standpoint, though, we kind of got to see the end of the big overarching art plot that a lot of people had bought into and gotten interested in. So people aren't necessarily as interested in, oh, what's going to happen with this Loki thread that ties into Doctor Strange that ties into this, because it's not as much about the characters that they really followed as strongly in phases, 1 through 4.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
And the greatest cinematic run in history.
Are we still in phase 4?
I couldn't remember if we're in 4 or 5 now, I'll be honest.
Is it 3 in with Endgame?
I couldn't remember if 3 or 4 ended with Endgame, I'll be
Or
honest.
did it end with Far From Home? I don't remember.
Far From Home was the end of the OG stuff, for lack of a better term, was how it was a bookend.
Yeah, I think that was supposed to be like the end of the Infinity Stone saga.
Yeah, that was the end of the Infinity Saga. So I guess this should be the better way to phrase it. I get where people are not as invested now that the Infinity Saga is pretty much done away with and they're ready to start on something else. I get it. That being said, I understand where you're coming from. I don't know that that necessarily applies to the public at large, because look at the insane box office there's been for Marvel stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'll give you that. I think it's what really started actually making me realize it, is they were talking about, like, since Daredevil and all the Netflix shows are now on Disney Plus, like, how are they connected? Because Matt Murdock was in No Way Home, and Kingpin was in Hawkeye. Like these same characters, and like they said they're the same characters, but some people still want to argue about it. Like, and I'm just sitting here like, I don't really care, man. I fucking like the Daredevil show.
Fair.
Kingpin was the best character. Out of all the Marvel, I don't care what you want to tell me.
That's fair. So I think there's also another way to look at it is you might be connected to folks that are a bit more dialed in than the conventional person, like to get into that fan theory and speculation stuff. Whereas, and this is not how I intended to sound, it'll probably sound terrible, your normal person, which air quotes there.
We're
because-
not.
You call me a normie?
No,
You
I'm
son
saying
of
you're
a
not a
bitch.
normie.
Yeah, he's saying you're not.
I'm saying you're not. And you're clued into those.
He's right.
The folks that are just like, hey, I'm going to watch them as they come out, aren't necessarily as interested in dissecting every little bit and piece of, oh, Matt Murdock showed up, so what does this mean? How's it fit into the timeline? Stuff like that. So
Well, the answer is we don't know till they tell us.
exactly. Although
That's
it was
the answer.
yeah, there's a bunch of interesting speculation, like, because I enjoy reading the theories and stuff on like some of the subreddits, like the Marvel Studios subreddit and stuff like that. But nobody knows anything, so it's just kind of fun. And at the same time, we're still kind of in a lull from the massive onslaught of Marvel content, because they're dishing it out, but I don't think it's as much as they'd originally planned, because, you know, pandemic and things like that delayed a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and everything got moved around. According to what I'm finding on the Wikipedia, Phase 4 started with Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, and Spider-Man No Way Home.
Okay.
So Endgame was the end of Phase 3. Phase 4 includes the wrap-up and kind of the build-up into Phase 5.
Black Widow. Ugh.
But yeah, here, I'll remind you of this, Willie. Remember Wanted? The Angelina Jolie, James McAvoy movie?
Good movie. the comic that it was not really based on was great.
Okay movie,
Yeah, I'll give you that.
somewhat named after an amazing comic based on supervillains that some producer was convinced the comic book bubble's gonna pop. We can't do supervillains in a movie. Let's make them assassins. That was 2008.
I thought it was more of like a budgetary thing where we
No,
can't
it was
fucking do
literally
this.
a chicken shit that said that they believed that the bubble was gonna pop and that no one was gonna buy comic book movies.
Like, that was
14
just
years
thinking,
ago.
not actually any concrete. I was like, oh, that makes sense. That's good enough for me.
You know, that movie was one of the most weak sauce shadows of a great comic book story I've ever seen. It's probably one of my least favorite adaptations because it's an okay movie that should just be called Assassins that has nothing to do with the comic book Wanted other than the main character's name.
And that he's an assassin, pretty much. Right.
They just tried to give... They somewhat tried to give the main character's ability to every person in the movie, which was fucking stupid. And they didn't have a shit monster. The movie was supposed to have a shit monster, damn it.
But, I mean, the movie did something cool that was original, and that's the bullet bending. I know it's not physically possible, but it still is cool.
Cool
should
idea.
trump over realism.
Yeah, but the shit monster would have been cooler.
I mean,
the scene where he figures out how to kill that character, because in the comic, the killer's super ability is he can figure out how to kill anybody. And when he figures out how to kill the shit monster, that scene was fucking funny as hell.
I mean, that wasn't that original, because look at Dogma. They had a shit monster there, the Gold Goliathan. That was the
Golgothan. But they beat him with a spray.
Some potpourri.
Yeah, but I'm saying, there lots of people think like the comic book bubble is going to burst. There's too many comic book movies. There's too much of this, too much of that. Marvel and DC have been printing comics for 80 fucking years. There is nothing but story out there. There is so much story. You can pick apart the good ones and just make movies out of those for the next 40 years, and they'll still have plenty of material to work with. The more comic book movies we get, the happier I am, because it means the less Justice Leagues there are and the more frickin' Endgames there are. You gotta take the good with the bad.
All right, and since we talked about that, there was also something else I wanted to mention. Chris already knows, but I thought this was just interesting as fuck. I'm gonna sing a little bit because no one knows it by its name, Chris. No one knows it by its name. Bachman, do you know the song "Tom's Diner"?
No.
You do us the song where the lady goes do 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 do. That she's literally singing those sounds, and then it goes, the man in the diner, but that song.
Okay, yeah.
That version that you know is a remix. The original from her is just a cappella. And she heard they were about to sue the people who did the remix. And she's like, hold on a second. No. Pay them, hire them, get the rights to that song, and put that out.
Nice. Yeah, it's Suzanne Vega.
Yeah, that's it. I knew it was Vega, but I couldn't remember her first name.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a classic. Yeah, 87, man. I was 9.
I thought it was 9. Oh, well.
Yeah, originally released in 1987 on the album Solitude Standing. Suzanne Vega.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, because no one knows it by its name.
I remember the 80s. I remember.
Yeah, but you don't remember it by its name. That's the whole point I was getting at.
Yeah, no, I don't think I knew the name of that song.
I actually was looking for that song. I was like, all right, I want to put this on my playlist. What's the? I don't know. I can't remember any of the lyrics. Well, I just remember the do part. So I went in Google and did voice to search. I was like, song that goes do dot do. And motherfucking Google had my back that day.
Wow, it actually found it just off that? That's amazing.
They've actually got an update in there. It's basically like, what is that sound that goes like, and then you can make the sound or the beat or whatever, and it'll try and figure it out now. It's pretty cool.
Nice. Actually, that's the only time I ever won a radio trivia show. One of the radio call-ins was the country music station up in Everett when I was in the Navy. Getting ready to go into work in the morning, I was listening to the radio, and they said, what song has 16 na-na-nas before it says the name of the title? And like fucking instantly grabbed my phone and called.
Batman.
It's,
Yeah.
Hey,
No, no,
right?
no, 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 no,
Oh.
no, Batman. Yeah, it's 16 ananas.
Oh, I thought the Beatles song started with na 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 na. I thought it started with that, but a
Well,
bunch of
hey,
times.
hey, hey, goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's
Isn't
not
it Beatles?
16. No.
I don't fucking count them, man.
It's the theme song to the 66 Batman. It has 16 ananas.
All right, how about this? What song starts with 12 church bells?
I'm gonna guess lots of songs.
Exactly 12 church bells
Highway to
before
Hell.
any singing happened. This off the top of my head too. I counted them at one
Highway to
time.
Hell.
Highway to Hell.
You're close. You're so close.
For whom the bell tolls.
Oh, you're getting further
Enter
away.
Sandman.
You had the right artist the first time.
I don't know.
Which was AC/DC, right?
Yeah, it's Hell's Bells.
Hell's
Oh,
Bells. Oh,
yeah.
that works.
Yeah, I counted them. Shit, or was it 13? Fuck.
I counted them, but
It's
now I
12
don't
or
remember what I
13.
counted them.
I was
I
told
counted
there'd be
them
no
like-
math.
I counted like 10 years ago, man. Come on.
And we know Willie doesn't remember much. So the fact he remembers it was either 12 or 13 from 10
Yeah.
years ago. That's an improvement.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Well done,
This
Willie.
thing is not so airtight as you think.
Good job, Willie
Not
Nelson.
watertight
Leaks
either.
from time to time. Oh, shit, I want to mess up my headphones.
Oh, wait. We got the new headphones. There's no
Oh, yeah.
there's no tape on those yet.
Well, the other ones I had to take the tape off of because the tape was a bad idea. Well, at least that tape was a bad idea because the stickiness kind of seeped through. So I felt
Oh.
some stick. This was a bad call.
That's not
Do
good.
you mind?
So Willie would lean on things and get stuck.
Mm.
Yeah. Lean on me and you'll be stuck with me.
I mean, he also went to sleep on his pillow and couldn't get his pillow off his head for 30 minutes. This is the head canon I'm establishing.
Oh, that's because that was already sticky from before.
Yeah, that had nothing to do
You
with
gotta
the tape
stop
on the
eating
headphone.
pancakes in bed, Willie. Jeez.
Okay, Chris.
You gotta
There
stop
is
making yogurt on your
One
cushion.
hard rule I live by: no fucking food on the goddamn bed.
So you would kick her out of bed for eating crackers, is what you're saying.
Wait,
Yes, and
wait.
where's that from? I don't
wait,
heard.
wait, wait. Do you consider Ready Whip food?
Yes, because of the sugar content makes things sticky.
Well, see, I like having food in bed.
I mean, that's why people use Diet Coke with the Mentos shit because Diet Coke is less sticky.
I say it's still Coke.
I know, but I'm saying it's less sticky. Because you're gonna get that shit on you, man. You don't want to be sticky. Or maybe you do. I don't know. I'm not gonna judge you. Who am I to judge you if you want to be sticky?
Sometimes you need traction,
Doing what?
so you can put some hip into it.
That's your head.
Yeah, well, when I move my hips,
Oh,
my
for
head
those audio
moves too.
listeners, Bachman just rotated his head around a couple times instead of his hip. It was kind of
I
weird.
rotated my old man hip, but it moves my head when I do it.
Did you hear a pop or three?
No, I stretched this morning.
DP yoga?
No.
DP yoga. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm
Evidently,
not doing DP yoga.
there is a song by Kill Whitney Dead called "I Wouldn't Kick Her Out of Bed for Eating Crackers." So
Nice.
that might be one of the places it came from.
Well, was it in like a movie or something?
I
Like,
think it was in a
Cool Hand Luke
movie or a
something?
TV show. I can't remember.
It was.
Like, I think it was
it's
like
been
from-
used in a bunch. It was in a Seinfeld episode.
Yeah, but yeah, I would definitely like.
I mean, the
Because they did
urban.
the whole thing about George eating like a sandwich during sex.
Yeah, I do remember that.
yeah, the
That was
urban,
hilarious, though.
the Urban Dictionary entry for it is established as of January 2008, so it hasn't really been updated in a while. But it is a woman who meets an attractiveness threshold above which you would easily forgive minor transgressions, such as eating crackers and leaving the inevitable crumbs in your bed. The British version of "I wouldn't kick her out of bed for farting," while similar in spirit, lacks some of the subtlety of this version.
Very true.
Their
The
example
British are
they
not
give,
subtle.
which is a very dated 2008 reference. Lindsay Lohan might have a little nose candy problem, but still, I wouldn't kick her out of my bed for eating crackers.
I wouldn't kick my girl out if she was eating lasagna. She's hot.
I don't know if I'd want I don't know. I don't like eating in the bed either, to be fair.
I have things to say, but they're probably inappropriate, so I'm going to refrain.
I mean, look, the worst
Because
is
you could call me Andy. Do refrain.
the worst is when you do get into the bed and you're like, the fuck are there cracker crumbs in here? It's happened to me before because my wife was
someone's ass getting beat.
my wife was feeling unwell, so I'd brought up some crackers and some soup for her because she was in bed, and there were cracker crumbs somehow on my side of the bed. Very odd.
All right, in that scenario, I think I'd be kind of okay with it.
I mean, she's sick, so yeah.
I know, that's why I'm factoring in.
Yeah. When you're sick, you're allowed to eat crackers in bed.
Yeah. Not lasagna, but crackers.
I wouldn't
Telling
say
you, my
every
girl's
time.
hot.
You get twice a year, and you're pushing if you use the second time.
Does that include the Ready Whip or not include the Ready Whip?
Motherfucker already told you Ready Whip is not allowed either. Why is this a question?
Really, I thought you were more adventurous in life.
Apparently not.
Yeah, okay. I really hate the feel of something on your sheets as you're trying to lay down and sleep. I fucking hate it.
But there's something delightful about having waffles in bed.
No!
Yeah. It's decadence. It's decadence.
How?
Because you're like, oh man, I didn't even get out of bed and I've got these waffles with syrup and butter.
A little bit of butter.
I don't even have a TV in my bedroom.
A little bit of syrup in each little crevice.
Little pockets to hold all that syrup.
What crevice?
In the waffle grid,
waffle.
man. Get your dirty mind out together.
We're talking about waffles because
For all those who don't know what
waffles,
blue
man.
waffle is, I advise
Stop.
you to Google
Do
image
not.
search with safe search off.
Do not. This goes back to like
Never
episode 6 of this show where someone else made that same gag and we said, don't Google that shit. And that was actually the title of the episode, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
Because of that same gag.
Yeah.
We have gone around in a circle here. In the almost 10 years this podcast has been produced, we have now brought that
cyclical,
joke back.
man.
All right. For you people about, like, I don't know, 23 and younger, I don't know, 24 and younger, whatever, from the ye olden days of the internet, you should be blessed by, or not blessed, birthed by fire. So you had to see some of the weird shit to be a part of it.
Are we talking about Goatsy?
Ugh.
Yes, that's also part of it. Don't
Tub
forget
Girl?
lemonparty.org, which, is that still a thing?
No,
Hold on a
don't
second.
look.
I'm going to look. You can't stop me.
Ugh.
Lemon.
But there were
We need a Patreon, and the 4th tier will just be that we'll
.org.
share Willie's search history.
It's an organization, so it's .org. Is that still? Yeah, it's still the same website. It's just an image. It's the same thing. Wait, what? And it redirected me to something else. Oh no. Let's close that instantly. So don't do it on your phone, at least. You know what? Just to be safe, open up a virtual machine on your computer and look it up.
How about just don't? I mean,
That's like wearing a condom, right?
the gross out things of the internet, I think we've evolved past the point of sending people to Goatsy or Tub Girl or those things like that.
Okay. Top girl, why'd you have to bring that up?
That one was gross too.
Yeah, don't forget
Lots of
the
gross.
whole thing with. I'm not even gonna say it. Let's just no.
2 women in
It's-
1 cup. That one. 2 girls, 1 cup.
What? Oh, okay. You
Yeah.
just said it wrong. Not on purpose. I thought you did it on purpose.
I did it on purpose to not
Oh
refer
well,
to
then you just said it the right way. Why?
because you seem to not understand.
Oh no, I understood. I was just wondering why. Like I wasn't going to correct you. I was going to let it go
These
because
things-
I didn't even want to say it.
These
And
things,
it's me.
Yeah,
I
fair.
didn't want to say. That should tell you something.
these things are those evolutions of the internet that we all went through. That's how we earned our stripes on the internet. Is someone sent us there one time with a disguised link, and we were never the same again. Or it was in my college dormitory where someone kept printing Goatsy out and putting on the back of the bathroom stall doors. So as soon as you shut the door,
Aww.
yeah.
I think I remember seeing a while. You remember how the 3DS or might have just been the DS had that little Picto chat thing where you could draw stuff out and send it to people. Yeah. That I seen someone do Goatsy on that. Oh, they drew it out. So it was
And for those of you that don't know what it is, good for you. Don't go look it up. It's not something you really want to see. It's just something that we all
not something
ended
you
up
want in your life.
seeing at some point.
If you're an ignorant deviant and you just don't know about it, then yes, look it up. That's an if.
You could probably also just do a search for what is and get a word-based description of it without seeing it yourself.
Oh no, you have to stare it in
No.
its eye.
No.
Shut that shit down.
I mean,
Negan's not having it.
oh
Look.
wait, hey, look, it's winking at me.
This is, I mean, we're making a joke about it, but it is one of those things that if you were on the internet in the early to mid 2000s, this was regular stuff. That link getting thrown around and disguised and sent you there. And
I guess why I'm kind of glad between 96 and 2002, I was basically on a boat in the Navy and not really on the internet.
Bachman, are you telling me you never stared at a butthole and it winked at you before?
Oh, God.
I plead the fifth.
I just wanted to bring this up from an interesting historical context of how the internet
see what you did?
Shifted
See what you fucking
and adapted. That's all I was trying to bring up is the fact that, hey, this is one of those things that's kind of sort of lost to internet history because
I don't even remember what the hell this started.
Shame.
I don't remember.
I'm not asking for a recap either.
I don't remember either.
Good.
I don't know. I will stop trying to talk about the interesting history aspect of it then, because that's all I really wanted to get into.
So Marvel fatigue, Tom's Diner, winking buttholes, opening.
I'm just hoping the Flash movie actually is going away.
I think they're still going to put it out, but
we'll see.
How much of it have they filmed?
It's all done.
It's done. It's in post-production, but I still believe that my theory may have a chance that movie doesn't exist and it's not a real thing.
Yeah, they could shit can it because Ezra Miller can't stay out of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a trailer? I just don't remember.
No, there's no trailer yet.
Okay.
There's like a mini teaser in that like DC movies that are upcoming. They showed like 3 clips from the alleged Flash movie, along with stuff from
post-production. Still, I'm guessing. I'm assuming
they showed it along with stuff from Aquaman, Lost Kingdom, and the Black Adam. It was all those 3 mixed together.
Because how I think I know how it works is the studio doesn't make the trailer. They send the footage off to another company that does trailers.
Oftentimes,
and
yes.
I think
usually.
I'm not 100% that how it works, but that's how I thought I heard and thought it made
Unless
sense.
you're a good director and you have control of that shit, like James Gunn, and you're like, no, I'm gonna cut my fucking trailer because I know exactly what I want to show to get people super interested without spoiling anything. Yeah. Unlike some people where it's like the new Bruckheimer movie that's in theaters where we know exactly every fucking step of the movie because I saw the trailer.
I mean, you're not wrong. Oh, well, I guess we did transition, so let me hit this bump real quick.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet, it's the news of the week.
Hey, we sort of started already, but this is the news of the week. It's where we run down some of the most interesting geeky and or nerdy news to have popped up here in the past week or so and share it with you guys watching live or listening later. Kind of circling back around, Bachman had expressed his half joke, half serious thought that the Flash movie may not happen. So the background, the context for that who aren't aware, Ezra Miller got in trouble again for acting a fool. This is his second time having bad incidents with alcohol and reacting physically.
Well, didn't he have like 2 incidents in the same weekend?
Something like that. And then he'd had one before.
Hear about these other ones.
So
one, he was on video choke slamming a fan at like
female
a meet
fan.
and greet. Yeah. Like he literally grabbed a chick by her neck and like slammed her like it was a damn wrestling move.
Not trying to defend it, but I do want to know the context.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw the video and I'm not sure what the context was. But
him?
I don't.
No, this was on an Instagram video of like
it was
outside
crazy.
with fans.
Yeah. And then apparently he got in like a drunken brawl at a karaoke thing or some shit and got arrested.
Wait, hold on. I've seen this little skinny dude. I don't care how small she is. I don't see him picking anybody up in a choke slam.
That's kind of why it was shocking.
That's why it was so
he's a little
surprising.
fucker. Yeah.
I could pick him by the scruff of his neck with just my thumb and forefinger.
So
come on. He puts on his garbage chute and he's a superhero.
Yeah, I went over. There's an article on Vox.com. He was arrested last week for disorderly conduct. They're saying one of Hollywood's most well-known non-binary actors has largely flown under the radar until now. Last week's arrest caused other reports of temperamental and aggressive behavior to bubble up. One couple filed a restraining order against them, while rumors resurfaced that the actor had been having breakdowns while filming The Flash, the upcoming movie set to come out. After spending the last decade or so on the cusp of top-tier celebrity, this was thought to be a starring role that might seemingly be pushing them into the limelight. But now Miller's career may be in jeopardy. Rolling Stone reported on April 6th that Warner Brothers had put all of Miller's upcoming projects on hiatus following an emergency meeting to discuss their behavior. This potentially includes their 2 remaining installments of the Fantastic Beasts franchise, as well as all of Miller's contracted Flash roles. The Hawaii police chief who delivered the announcement of Miller's March 28th arrest noted they'd been subject of 10 police complaints in the last month, and the details of Miller's protracted misconduct spree read like The Hangover. Miller had reportedly been hanging out at a small town in Hailu, Hawaii, living in a hostel alongside a married couple they befriended at a farmer's market. On March 27th, Miller became rowdy at a local bar, refusing to calm down despite several requests. Then they grabbed the microphone away from a woman doing a duet of Shallow before accosting a man playing darts, at which point the police became involved. So this just reads, this latest one is acting drunk and being
Acting
a fool. Other stuff has come up
in
that
Hawaii?
there were physical things before that were caught on tape, and everyone kind of just glossed over that whole thing of him literally choke slamming a female fan, or them choke slamming a female fan on tape on Instagram.
Yep.
And then
I was about to say, this is the first I heard that they are non-binary.
that
That
was
was the first I ever heard of that.
Yeah, same thing for me too as I was reading this article.
But I
So
don't really keep up with Ezra Miller.
my apologies for those that I did not get their pronouns correct. I apologize.
But this actually reminds me of, do you remember the show Lost? And how some of their stars got DUIs while still filming the show?
Yeah, just being stuck on the island for so long, some of them lost their shit.
I don't fucking drink. I don't get it.
Some people have control issues and shouldn't drink, and yet they do.
I just don't have a taste for it. I don't want to.
So I get the point where if you're the studio, you start to have some second doubts, second guesses here, because, all right, the first one we kind of pushed under the rug a little bit, made it so that it wasn't too noticeable. But the more and more you keep acting up out there, the harder and harder it is for us to keep making movies with you, especially when you're supposed to play a pivotal role in reestablishing the DC universe. And he has a large role in the Fantastic Beasts movie, which if those get shit canned, who gives a crap? Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, the only upside of those is seeing Jude Law playing young Dumbledore, and like honestly, it should just be him on camera for 2 hours. The rest of the stories, the rest of those characters, other than the guy with the creatures, are all kind of pointless.
Mads Mikkelsen's in it now too, which is pretty cool because he took over for Johnny Depp when Johnny Depp was forced out.
All right, Mads is cool. He's
much as
great
I
in
like
everything.
Mads Mikkelsen, fuck all these Fantastic Beasts movies. Fuck anything else to do with Harry Potter, because J.K. Rowling needs nothing else.
Don't disagree. In the chat room, V says, I was also not aware of them being non-binary until they've been in the news for being a non-binary asshat. I mean,
there you go.
And that's the thing. The news here isn't necessarily how they define themselves. It's more of they've been acting a fool.
Oh, no, that's just surprised me because I don't think about Ezra Miller. I was like, he's Flash. That's it. That's as far as I thought about Ezra Miller.
That's it. My only thoughts about Ezra Miller is that they're not the Flash. They're not any version of the Flash that's ever been written before.
Well,
Now
so
you're just being an
there's a
asshole.
lot of fan theory now that they could potentially spin this or do some reshoots so that whatever is done in the Flash movie to recreate things is you could then pivot Grant Gustin into being the Flash. Now, I don't think they're going to do it because he's been doing it for 8 years on TV and is probably pretty ready to be done with the role at some point in time.
Yeah, I can't remember who the actor was, but the better one I saw was the guy that played Havoc in the X-Men.
Lucas Till.
Having him, Till. Having Lucas Till take over. Because, literally, like, they can do anything. I mean, the fact that it's so awful that they're going with something as stupid as the frickin' Flashpoint movie as the first story anyways. But, like, Lucas Till looks like a lot of the Barry Allens that are drawn in the comics. Like, there are multiple good actors out there that aren't asshats currently that could easily play this role. And get rid of the garbage suit, get rid of all connection to the god-awful Snyderverse crap, and start fresh.
I got this. You know who we need to get as the Flash? We need someone slender, because that'd fit the build. All right?
Okay.
So we get Christian Bale, and you need to go back to the shape you were in for the Machinist.
Dude, that's
I want to see
unhealthily thin.
flesh
let's not
bone and nothing else.
Let's not have him almost kill himself again, please.
And then
What did he say? He had like a glass of water and an apple slice every
And
day
like
or
a
something?
lime. Yeah, it was.
And then
ridiculous.
Then he went and packed on the muscle to be Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, which is
Right after
fucking amazing. Holy shit. But I mean, if you're getting paid millions, I'm sure it's a lot easier to do it like that.
Yeah, but that's gotta F
No
up your
offense.
body in some way, shape, or form.
Oh,
to,
yeah.
To do those drastic
Yeah.
swings, your body probably is not happy.
Me and
That's
Jenna
what-
were talking about it last night. Yeah, because it's the
That's
same thing
equal.
that fucking all right did to himself.
McConaughey.
McConaughey, when he lost all that weight for the detective show, True
True
Detective,
Detective.
or not True Detective, but
Oh, yeah.
when he did True Detective after Dallas Buyers Club,
That's
because he
it.
lost all the weight for Dallas Buyers Club, he lost all the fatty tissue in his eye sockets. And when you look at him in True Detective and then all the preceding movies, even after he put the weight back on, he still has like a sunken kind of hollow eye socket look because your body doesn't replace fat cells where you've had them after you lose them. He lost so much weight and got so skinny and small, his body ate all the fat, he'd been storing. Like those little pockets, like little bits of fat, they could have been there since he was a baby. Like that could have been actual like child chub that, just a little tiny bit that, your body held there. But then once it's gone, your body's not going to put it back exactly where it was.
God damn
So,
it,
yeah, even
Bachman,
when you
now I'm
put the-
self-conscious.
But I mean, look at McConaughey post Dallas Buyers Club. He has a sunken look to his eyes that won't go away no matter how healthy he is, because that your body just doesn't put fat tissue back where it was, when you lose such drastic weight. So I mean, yeah, it's some of the shit that these actors do is fucking dangerous. Like The Machinist Christian Bale. I've seen that movie. He's scary looking in that
Yeah.
movie. He lost so much weight.
They
They said
was
doctors
a dangerous
told him
weight.
to stop. Yeah, they said doctors on set told him to stop doing what he was doing, and he kept going. Like, the dude's crazy. I mean, committed, very committed, but crazy. Like, yeah,
Well,
shit
yeah,
is
you
not
have-
healthy and it's
I mean,
dangerous.
If you're crazy, you might be committed.
I see what you did
True.
there.
Ah, I'm not trying to make light of it, just a pun.
Yeah, that's what I assumed was the case, my friend.
Mhm.
I mean, but I don't know who's listening, man. I just gotta state it because, it's just I like puns, man. I like wordplay.
I don't know.
I guess that's a bit of a dark humor.
I don't know how dark that one was. I mean, it wasn't Jesselnick dark. Let's put it that way.
Depending upon how close it
Mm.
hits home to you.
Yeah. I mean, that's my current king of dark comedy right now is Anthony Jeselnik.
He's got some great fucking jokes.
If
Like,
you
that
like
dude
dark comedy,
is hilarious.
If you like dark comedy that makes you go, "Oh, I shouldn't laugh at this," but it's really hilarious. Jeselnik
His joke about
is-
his neighbor with Alzheimer's is one of my favorite jokes of all time.
It's
Oh, if
terrible,
you're giving
but
a
it's
recommendation,
hilarious.
It's one of my favorite fucking jokes of all
Yeah.
time.
Since you're
See
giving a
the joy on
recommendation,
that man's face.
my recommendation, if you like shitty comedy, listen to Amy Schumer.
Ironically, he used to date Amy Schumer.
Ooh, not because of what she looks like, just because how fucking horrible of a person she is.
I just
Like,
never
why
thought
would
she
you
was
want to
that
be
funny.
with that person who's like that, and who has been accused of joke thievery? Go fuck yourself if you steal jokes.
Like Carlos Mencia.
Oh yeah, him too, or Ned, as his name is. I don't care if he fucking changed his name. Your name's still Ned.
Ned Flanders.
I don't know about Flanders, but I know his name's Ned.
Well, Oakley Dokley.
He's a doodly oodly.
You guys ready to move on to the next news story?
Oakley fuckly, I am.
Yep.
All right. I'll go next with mine because it's relatively quick.
Wait,
There is
next with your. We didn't do a news story yet.
well, we sort
we
of did a
kinda.
group one, which was the Ezra Miller stuff.
Oh, fair enough.
Keep up, Bachman. Jesus, man.
What?
Act like a professional.
No.
So
I know, because we don't get paid for this. So we're not technically professionals.
that is true.
True.
So the producer of the Fast and Furious franchise announced late Saturday night they had a new addition joining the crew for Fast and Furious 10. Did you guys see who's coming on board?
They're making another one?
This
Of
is the
course they're
final
making
one, I
another
think.
one. No, no,
oh,
it's not.
yeah, sure.
So it's
Supposedly, Fast and Furious
I-
10 is the final one.
I got $100 right now that says the Fast and Furious franchise hits 13 movies before the Friday the 13th franchise does.
I still haven't watched the 9th one. I bought it, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I need to.
Let's see,
Wait,
is
we
this
count
a
the
different
remake?
character than the one that Jason Momoa slipped and let out that he's getting to work with?
I don't know because I didn't see that news story.
Ah.
But last night, as we record this on April 9th, Vin Diesel announced that Academy Award
The
winner and best known to many of us as Captain Marvel portrayer Brie Larson would be joining Fast and the Furious cast.
Oh, you mean
Nice.
Scott Pilgrim's ex-girlfriend?
Yes. And other new cast members that we've already found out about is Jason Momoa and Daniela Melchior from The Suicide Squad will be joining.
Is
the
that
cast
Ratcatcher
as well.
2?
That's Ratcatcher 2.
Nice. Okay.
You could
Yeah,
tell-
that chick
you
was
could
awesome.
say The Suicide Squad. I still don't know which one that one is because I'm never going to
That's the
remember
second one.
ever. I'm never
James
going to
Gunn
remember
got
that.
the. That's all you got to know. James Gunn got the.
Oh, and I
I'm never gonna
apologize. I did
remember that,
misspeak slightly on this. Plot details are currently unknown, but good news. Justin Lin is returning to direct, and I like his work.
There you go.
His Fast and Furious flicks have been fun, and he did the best of the new Star Trek movies. Star Trek Beyond is badass, and I will die on that hill. And
Never
they
seen
did also say Fast and Furious 10 is slated to hit theaters May 2023, while the second part of the two-part finale, Fast and Furious 11, is tentatively scheduled to arrive in February 2024.
So you were already getting another movie. See
So
how fast
this
that
is-
was?
I misspoke. This is a two-part finale for the series, is what they are saying.
It's still two
Oh,
different
shit.
movies.
But
I
the
don't
question
care.
is, do you count the Hobbs and Shaw spinoff as Fast and Furious movies? Because I'm sure they'll do another one. In which
Well, yeah,
case,
because it's
that
called
gets
the
us to
Fast and
13.
Furious Presents
So-
Hobbs and Shaw.
so
that is
I
a
technically,
wouldn't
Fast and
care
Furious
if you
movie.
count it or not count it. It's whatever.
so technically, we'll be at 12 movies when Fast and
Yes.
Furious wraps because of the Hobbs and Shaw one. If they do a sequel, then you'll get to 13.
Yep.
And let's be
like
honest.
I guarantee there will be 13 Fast and Furious movies before we get a 13th Friday the 13th, which all they need to do is one more. There's been 12 movies called Friday the 13th, or, well, 12 movies in the Friday the 13th Jason Voorhees franchise. They just need to do one more. But we're going to get 2 or 3 more Fast and Furious movies before that happens.
if they do another Friday the 13th, I hope it's titled Friday the 13th Squared.
Squared. That'd be funny. But no, Jason Momoa apparently let it slip that he gets to work. He's excited to work with Oscar winner Charlize Theron, who
Oh,
is
yeah.
back.
She was back in the last one, too, I think.
Yeah, but apparently people didn't know at the time that he was talking on his interview, and apparently it hadn't been announced that she
Ah.
was coming back for the next movie.
I just
For part
assume
10.
everyone but Paul Walker is going to come back at this point in time.
Pretty
Well,
much,
no
yeah.
shit.
Well,
Yeah.
they could CGI him as what, but it would be in poor taste. That's well, and The Rock
Yo,
because we know The Rock
extremely.
won't be back.
Yeah, The Rock will be back because he doesn't want to be on set smacking Vin Diesel around, which apparently would be the only reason he would want to be on set at this point.
Dude,
Yeah,
the
now
worst
he's
one
got
was
Jason Statham to do that with.
the worst one was when like Vin
We
Diesel
gotta do
started
part
coming out on Instagram like, "Oh, we're going to bring Dwayne back," and he was like, "No, we talked about this."
No, you're not.
That I wasn't coming back, and putting this out in public is not going to make me come back for this. I'm not coming back.
I've already stated you're an abusive ex. Stop trying to put my name in your mouth.
Well,
No.
I mean, if you go, I don't remember the exact context of it. Like Vin Diesel posted this like giant long Instagram post about what they wanted to do, what he wanted to do to wrap things up, and like started talking about, oh, I'm going to try and bring Dwayne back, and started talking about Paul Walker's kids and stuff he'd said to Paul Walker's kids about trying to get the cast together. And I was like, dude.
Yeah. It's
I
a bit
think,
much.
I think even in the Rock's comment back, he's like, don't bring Paul Walker's kids into this.
Is Vin
Yeah.
Diesel a writer for the movies?
He's the executive producer, so he's involved in all sorts of stuff.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
He's helping him probably break the story. He's not actually writing anything, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he's involved.
I mean, don't get me wrong. And Vin Diesel is arguably right that putting The Rock in the Fast and Furious movies pushed him from doing like bit parts and smaller things into becoming like huge mainstream. And like his career got a lot bigger after Fast and Furious. I think that's fair to say. He hadn't done like the massive blockbusters and stuff like that. And then kind of got to spin off and do his own things and arguably become the biggest name in Hollywood right now. Plus he owns the XFL, which is kind of cool, which is getting sued.
True. By someone who doesn't
Chris,
know
you
the
just made a
difference
statement,
between two different
and then-
X's.
Countered your own statement. What?
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 XFL is a big thing, but it's not a thing yet, and it's getting sued.
I didn't
so-
say that.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, I
No.
didn't say it was a big
You're
thing.
hearing shit.
I always hear shit. I'm hearing you guys right now. Wait, are you guys?
And some of
is
it's
this
even the
camera
stuff we're
actually working? Am I
saying.
just staring at something and I'm just making all this up?
Yes, this is all
Existential crisis.
Could be.
Yeah, so that was my news. Captain Marvel herself is joining the Fast and Furious universe because more superheroes in what is basically a superhero franchise at this point in time.
Well, technically, the cars are the super powered things.
Well,
Yeah.
and yeah, like those people can jump from building to building and fly through walls and stuff and never be injured. As my some of my favorite podcasters Sean Pryor and all those guys over on Culture Trap and refer to it. They just call those movies the Black Avengers because they're all superheroes at this point. You can't kill them. They can punch through walls. Like, it's ridiculous.
Bachman, you be built like The Rock and see if you go through a wall and see if it does any damage to you.
Oh, hell no. Yeah. If I look like Dwayne Johnson, ain't no wall messing with me.
Now, The Rock also had that
point.
cool one where he was in the cast and just flexed his way out of a cast. That
Daddy's got to
cool
go to
too.
work.
Was that a Fast and Furious movie?
That was Fast and Furious, yeah.
Yeah. If I'm built like The Rock, I'll be putting motherfuckers through walls like Keith Lee.
I know I got a broken bone, but these muscles keep it in place.
That was a nice reference that Willie's not going to get.
My muscles.
I know.
Wait, what I do?
I'm making wrestling references again. I'm watching wrestling bitches. Oh, yeah. Putting bitches through wall like Keith Lee.
The limitless one.
Oh.
For he is limitless.
Yeah, he is very limitless. When he put Big Hobbs through that wall, goddamn, I was a little shocked by that.
Yeah,
I like how we're talking about putting people through walls, and you're shocked by it because there was a moment in wrestling that I do know about, is when the Shockmaster came through the wall.
It's true.
Yeah,
Bachman was talking about a wrestling moment where limitless Keith Lee put Powerhouse Hobbs through a wall, and Willie, you don't watch wrestling, but Powerhouse Hobbs is a giant and he's jacked, and putting him through a wall is a pretty cool moment on television.
Yeah, those two fighting is kind of like Vin Diesel and The Rock and the Fast and the Furious, where it's two guys that can't be hurt.
That's just two beefy dudes just slapping beefy sides.
Well, if you want to talk about something, there was I forget when it happened, but there was a match between Kurt Angle and Shane McMahon where there was a spot. What?
King of the Ring, I bet, is what you're about to cite.
Where they were supposed to go through a glass thing, and they fucked it up.
Yep.
And then Shane said, "Put me through it again."
Here's the kicker. And it wasn't candy glass either. It was real glass.
Yeah.
They didn't have the fake glass in.
Yeah, when stuff like that happens, it's always awesome.
That was either King of the Ring 98 or 99. I can't remember. But he suplexes Shane into a sheet of glass. And Shane just hits the glass and slides down to the ground in a heap. And he says, "Do it again." And Kurt's like, okay. Because this is Kurt Angle, very beginnings of his professional wrestling career. And he's like, okay, and does it again and throws him through a sheet of glass doing a German suplex. It's insane.
But it wasn't like the start of it, was it?
Sorry, what?
It wasn't the start of it, was it? It was like still in like the...
It was in the middle of the match. If that's
it wasn't at the start of his wrestling career. It was like a little bit
It was at the start of his professional wrestling career. He'd been a professional wrestler like a year at that point in time.
Okay, if you've been in it for a year...
He was still early on.
I get what you mean in the grand scheme of how long he's doing it.
Well,
a year is...
Having a year of experience in the ring is not a lot of experience, especially when you go back then where people were doing like training and stuff like that and dark matches and stuff to get trained up. It's just Kurt Angle's goddamn prodigy.
I thought he broke his back in a ring, made, a circled ring, and he won a gold medal, I thought.
No, he broke his neck.
Oh, neck.
That's wrestled with a broken neck.
My apologies. I fucked up on that, but you still get the meaning.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Shut up.
Kurt, that's an awesome one, but that's the kind of thing that you look at nowadays and be like, Jesus, they shouldn't have done that.
No.
Shane McMahon's done some fucking stupid shit.
Shane McMahon takes some sick bumps. Let's just put it that way.
Oh my God.
Especially for someone who's, not a professional wrestler by trade.
Well,
he's kind of become one, but
he gets paid to go into the ring. He's technically a professional.
He is now. Whenever he appears on WWE TV, it's not because he's an owner or part owner or anything like that in the company. He's just contracted talent now.
Well, Chris, the definition of being a professional is getting paid for doing said thing.
Yes. Okay. So if we're going to play on, you know what I meant, though. It's that
he was paid to be in the ring as a wrestler.
But you know what I meant, which is
I know
his career.
I get you.
Yes.
I get you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But if Willie wants to play Master of Semantics, I will concede defeat to him, and I will toss things over to one William D. Nelson for his news.
Oh, me, you say? Me. So, I have two little small things to go on. I woke up this morning and thought this was worth mentioning. If I don't know who like Kingdom Hearts here, I'm assuming neither one of you. I've only played through the first one back when it was on the PS2, and then again on the PS4 with the 1.5 release, or it could have been, I think is what it was. And then played through, I think, maybe halfway through the second one, because I never played that one back on the PS2. But they released a trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4, which I didn't even know was going to be a thing till I woke up this morning.
Nobody did, from what I understand. It's just a bunch of people logged on and went, the fuck? What happened?
Nice.
Yeah, but not only did the trailer have that, it ended with a trailer for the Kingdom Hearts 4, but apparently it started off with 2 separate game trailers for mobile games. And yeah, they look very much like mobile games. Which, that is what I do know about Kingdom Hearts. They do like to do that a lot, about weird off-project or off-mainline story games on other consoles. They do that a lot. So this isn't really, a normal, and it's going to be probably part of the main story. You have to play it to know the entire story, probably too. So, yeah, that's something they like to do. But the trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4 is, it looks so far, at least what was in the trailer, it looks like Sora is in. It looks like Tokyo or Japan somewhere. I don't know. They show a street sign, and I don't know streets or location, but somewhere in Japan. I'm assuming Tokyo, because why would you not? And a giant Heartless appears in the middle of a city, and Sora comes and fights him. Now, I did see some of the comments. Someone did say it looks like they just put the little HUD over the bottom where you have your commands and stuff and your health. But it looks like a cinematic that it's going through and not really actual gameplay. And they just added those little HUD elements to it in the bottom left and bottom right of the screen. So, yeah, that looks interesting. Does anyone have any history with Kingdom Hearts, perchance?
I bought one of them at one point in time when it came to Xbox. It was like $9 at GameStop. I was like, I need to start playing these. When I was in college, my roommate played through them all the time. He'd play in the living room. So I'd sit in the living room and watch him play through Kingdom Hearts. So I'm sort of familiar with what's been going on. Granted, this was also 15 plus years ago, so I'm not as current, but I enjoyed watching the game, and I enjoyed the mind twist of combining Disney with Final Fantasy stuff at different places and things like that. So I'm intrigued to see where they go with it. But that being said, I haven't played any of the games, and my knowledge is so far out of date that while I can appreciate that there's another one coming, I don't know that I'm really rushing to go play it, if that makes sense.
I think the one I played was 2 when they introduced the gummy pieces for building your own ship. I think I rented it and realized how massive and big the gameplay was and how much was going on. I was like, wow, this is not a weekend rental game. And then I've seen the girlfriend's daughter. She's played a bunch of 3. So I watched her play some of that. So, yeah, I mean, it does look interesting. Yeah, I love the idea. Yeah, the mix of the Square Enix Final Fantasy type characters mixed in with the Disney stuff is pretty cool. And the different worlds that you go to. And I watched her in the new spaceship that you have where you're flying around and actually do space battles on your way to other planets. So yeah, it's a really interesting game. It's a really cool franchise. If they do another one, hell, I might pick it up. Because, yeah, they always look like they've been fun.
Yeah, number 3 looked interesting to me. I kind of want to play it, but I just haven't had the push to go do it yet. I mean, maybe when it's really cheap, I might get it when it's $5. So, but Square Enix.
Kingdom Hearts, I just saw right now, Kingdom Hearts 3 is $10 on PlayStation.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 has been pretty cheap.
Well, I still don't have the push to want to play it yet, so it will hit me at some point. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm in the mood for some Kingdom Hearts.
Right. I mean, and you've also got the problem right now that you can only get things digitally. Luckily, that's your preferred method.
Technically, right now there is a Prime deal on Amazon, and list priced at $39.99. Kingdom Hearts 3 is $9.99, so it's 75% off right now. Copy? It is for a physical copy of the game.
Oh, thank you, because my disk drive is broken on my PS4.
I thought you were welcome. A PS5. What happened on that front?
Let me fucking find one, god damn it.
That's why Korg is still playing a PS4 in 2025.
Well, So, side note, I saw an interesting story, and this sort of delves into that, of why you can find the Xboxes. It's not necessarily because of popularity, but Microsoft also paid to get chips ahead of the line. They paid a premium to ensure they would have product out there. So that's why you are starting to find Xbox Series X in the wild a bit more, because Microsoft paid a premium to ensure they could have the hardware on shelves.
Yeah, Microsoft has the pockets to do so.
Also true.
I mean, Sony, I'm assuming, also does, but...
Not quite the same as Microsoft's pockets. This is not console fanboyism I'm getting into here. But,
I know.
yeah.
I wasn't thinking it was. Anyone else have any other things you want to say about Kingdom Hearts 4?
It's going to
I'll go
kick
check
off
out the trailer after we're done here.
I didn't hear either one of you.
I was going to say, it says, according to this, it's going to kick off a new story arc. So they've done 3 DS games, 3 Kingdom Hearts games, and they just finished the first story arc or something like that.
There was some other ones there, too. There's
There
also
wasn't
some
there
other
PSP?
mobile games.
I think there's a
I
PSP
believe.
one also.
Yeah. But, yeah. But since that, let me move on to a little secondary thing. And yes, late to this, but I think it's still worth talking about a little bit. PlayStation Plus is getting an upgrade coming June. And the fact that it's coming to June and there's still little information about what exactly it is other than pricing and then just some vagueness is a little troublesome to me, at least.
Thought didn't Sony finally release the official tiers and the pricing?
Yeah, but it's still vague. There's still no definitions for what's you're getting for it.
Yeah, there is.
Okay, let me go through it. Okay, so pretty much how PlayStation Plus is now will be the level of PlayStation Plus Essential or just PlayStation Essential. I can't remember the exact terminology for it. And then, let me see.
The second tier, you get 200
price.
some odd games. The third
what
tier,
you get for PlayStation Plus Extra provides all the benefits from the Essential tier, adds a catalog of up to 400, and has an asterisk, I'm not sure what the asterisk is, of the most enjoyable PS4 and PS5 games, including blockbuster hits from our PlayStation Studios catalog and third-party partners. Games in the extra tier are downloadable for play. See, that doesn't tell us what they are. Is this going to be day and date like Microsoft does? That doesn't specify that. It does say it's from our own PlayStation Studios, but not so much from what that means. And that price is going to be an extra $14.99.
No, it's a total of $14.99.
Oh, monthly. $40 quarterly and $99.99 yearly for the extra. And then the next tier is PlayStation Plus Premium. Thought I had a different name, but whatever. All the benefits from the previous 2 tiers adds up to 340 additional games, including PS3 games available via cloud streaming, a catalog of beloved classic games available in both streaming and download options from the original PlayStation, PS2, and, which I'm a little surprised about, PSP, which I'm not too sad about that. And they also offer cloud streaming access for original PlayStation, PS2, PSP, and PS4 games offered in the extra and premium tiers in markets where PlayStation Now is currently available. Wait, does that mean it's adding, it's just moving PlayStation Now to the premium? I'm
Pretty
guessing.
much. What the PlayStation Now is, it's just going to be split up between the premium and whatever the second tier is.
Yeah. And then also there are time-limited game trials will also be a thing as well with the premium, which, I mean, sure. Well, why not?
Yeah. That's the thing, where a brand new game comes out and they'll put it on the PlayStation Plus Premium. You can try it for the first month for free, and then if you want, you can buy it. Otherwise, it goes away.
And the pricing of the premium tier is $17.99 monthly, $49.99 quarterly, which is every 3 months. Just stating it just in case, and $119.99 yearly. I'm sorry, $119.99. Let me specify for the yearly cost. So it pretty much doubles what you already do with PS Plus now. Yeah. The PS1, the PS2, the PS3, and the PSP games. That's what's got me interested. And I I forget his name. I think he's the head of PlayStation, has been on like a podcast or something saying, all our big names are going to be involved in that. But once again, being vague and not saying what said big names or any examples.
Yeah, they're just not giving you the game list yet.
Being
the
vague.
game list will probably come out, 2 weeks before it actually launches.
That's bullshit. It's coming out in June. You need to have information for this, man. June is coming up, man. My man.
Thor: Love and Thunder is coming out in 4 months. We don't have a trailer yet.
I don't care about Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm getting that fatigue. I told you about that.
Well, you might care if there was a trailer.
Maybe. Not really.
We're 2 episodes into Moon Knight, goddammit. Where's my Thor: Love and Thunder trailer?
What does Moon Knight got to do with this?
Because they always wait for the last thing, for one thing to get done, and then they primo the next thing.
Since we mentioned Moon Knight, did you guys hear about how it's getting review bombed from a certain set of people?
Yes.
Oh, God. I hate those people. I wish they'd go away.
The Turkish people?
Oh, wait, what? I thought it was the Snyderverse people.
No, it's not Snyderverse.
No. I was like, what? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Let me take that one back. My bad.
How do you
I thought it was the Snyderverse fuckers.
Turkians? Turkish? The Turkish. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Don't hurt yourself.
I was just trying to think what's the correct one? Like I can't remember. But yeah, they were review bombed because that one throwaway line in the first episode of like when he was talking about like Moon Knight could have been used to save this, and he talked about and he mentioned the Armenian genocide.
Mm.
Yeah, and apparently Turkish people did not like that and review bombed the hell out of it.
Maybe they shouldn't have killed so many Armenians.
I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to get political. But that is just a fact. That is a fact of what happened. It was caught. They review bombed because of that.
Mm.
Regardless of what you think.
I figured it was the Snyder idiots again.
No, it's not the Restore the Snyderverse people.
Always trying to attack Marvel.
Fucking love the Snyderverse.
Fuck the Snyderverse. It's shite.
Fuck you.
It's pure shite.
Oh, what you want the Joss Whedon universe? Is that what you want?
No.
Is that what you want?
You mean a Justice League where there's a little tiny bit of humor? Yeah, I'd take that over what Snyder did.
And the sexual assault charges?
What charges? He's just awful.
Yeah.
Joss Whedon's not under arrest. He's just an awful person.
How does he write strong women and horrible to women? That makes no sense. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
I know. That's the
worst. How are you a walking contradiction?
Yeah, that's
emphasis on dick.
Yeah.
That was a
great
good one.
Kick-ass female characters and an awful person. World's full of them.
And also another tangent. I saw how the dude who played Xander on Buffy,
Nicholas Brendan.
Yeah, that's it. He really hated fucking
David
Angel. Yeah, like out of nowhere, like, dude, no one cares, man. No one fucking cares. I mean, me personally, I hated the Angel character myself on Buffy. Fucking hated the Angel character. I was like, this is boring. I don't fucking care about this dude.
It was a much better character when he was on his own show.
Especially when you look at it, it's fucking weird. How old is he as a vampire? Like 300 something years old? I don't know.
Like that.
Yeah.
And he's wanting to date a pre-18-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, at least Spike waited till she was legal.
It's true. And he's supposed to be the bad guy.
Fucking weird.
And he's the bad guy, yeah. He had no soul.
Spike was a better fucking dude. And I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Something happened in the storyline that was like, ugh.
Mm.
Yeah.
I still like Spike better than Angel.
Mm.
Yeah, that scene was rough, too. Oh, it was so visceral.
Yeah.
Ugh. Seemed like fucking Joss Whedon had experience when he wrote that shit.
I mean, hindsight and all.
Yeah.
Why don't we move into our final news story here instead of retreading a bunch of ground that's already been tread on Joss Whedon?
Yeah.
What you got for us, Bachman?
We got a budget report from this weekend, or the box office report off of a Slash Film article by Valerie Edahofer. Looks like she pulled a bunch of stuff from the Hollywood Reporter. All the golden rings this weekend were grabbed by Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and not by Ambulance. Have y'all seen the posters for the like in Michael Bay Ambulance, where they highlight the letters L.A.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw it on a commercial.
It's such a weird text treatment. Like it doesn't even seem to be that important that it takes place in LA, but for some odd reason they highlight those letters in bright red and make them capital in the middle of the word. So it looks, I guess maybe just because you can't like copyright the word ambulance, and so they had to do something to it. Maybe
I don't
but
know.
yeah, it looks so strange.
Well,
yeah,
still the word. You can't copyright just because you color two of the letters, can you?
Why not? They did it with the movie Seven by changing the V to a 7.
Well, that you're changing it to being unique at least. You're changing a letter, so it's not really
if
7.
If you capitalize the L and the A in
otherwise.
the middle of the word ambulance, that's not really the word ambulance anymore.
Yeah, it is. It's still ambulance. It's just the two letters are highlighted red. It's still the same word, it's spelled the same way, right?
Los Angeles Nints.
One thing to keep in mind, listener, is that none of us are intellectual property lawyers or attorneys on this show, so we are all talking out our asses.
Or owners.
I am on Tuesdays.
I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express once, though. So
that's right. I only play a doctor on TV. So from the article, Sonic sped past the competition this Friday, beating out Michael Bay's Ambulance, Sony's Morbius, and adventure rom-com The Lost City, which Lost City actually has done pretty well. According to the Hollywood Reporter, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is projected to make 67 to 69 million by the end of its opening weekend. It says the success or the sequel is hopeful indicator for otherwise sluggish box office. Bay's bank robbery thriller Ambulance trails in 4th place and only drew in 3.2 million on Friday. Meanwhile, Morbius, the weekend's second top earner, saw a roughly 70% drop since last week opening weekend. So Morbius took a header, and it didn't have a good opening weekend to start with. Yeah. So yeah, Morbius got hurt.
Word of mouth was not kind to that movie. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, no, I told people you should watch that for free when it shows up on Disney Plus or Netflix. Like it's not worth seeing in the theater.
Well, it won't be Disney Plus because it's a
it won't
Sony
be.
One.
Not until Disney eventually just buys Sony. Those bastards.
That's not going to happen. You know it.
There's
Sony's too big with all the. They might. I mean, I guess they could buy their.
Oh, I'm sorry. Someone's too big for Disney to buy. Are you out of your fucking mind? They already bought 20th Century Fox.
Yeah, but I mean, Sony's not just a movie studio. It's electronics manufacturer. It's
yeah,
games.
The thought that got thrown around before is that they might acquire Sony Motion Pictures.
Well, that's why I said earlier, I guess they could buy out the movie, whatever.
There had been some folks with their theories that
there it is.
Sony was having some money issues, especially when we were deep in the pandemic, in regards to the movie studios, and that Disney could just come and be like, hey, you got problems with that movie studio? We got money. We can make that problem go away for you.
Yep.
It didn't happen, obviously, but
Disney needs to fucking slow down.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Slow your goddamn roll. You don't need to own every goddamn thing. Fuck off. Wrong. I try not to be.
Yeah, that's true.
But yet you often are.
Yeah. So the important thing to know for this weekend is that Jim Carrey beat Michael Bay in the box office, and that's just fucking hilarious when he's the evil guy in Sonic 2.
Supposedly Sonic 2 is really fun.
Yeah, I mean,
it looks funny.
I'm curious about it.
I don't have kids or anything, but a couple folks that are friends of mine, like I took my kids, they had a blast.
And isn't this? Didn't he say this is his swan song of a movie too?
Supposedly this is Jim Carrey's retirement from film. So So some people's last movie is Street Fighter. Some people's last movie is Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
I stopped caring about Jim Carrey ever since Kick-Ass 2. Not because of the movie, because he wouldn't do any press for it because he said it was too violent. Motherfucker, the story I heard is you saw the first one and wanted to be in the second one.
Yeah.
And you saw how violent it was.
Context. He did the first one, wanted to do the second one, did it, had just finished doing the second one, then Sandy Hook
wasn't in the first one.
Well, excuse me, he watched the first one. Let me rephrase.
Yeah.
I misspoke. But then Sandy Hook happened, and he revisited his views on violence and gun control and things like that, from what I recall.
Yeah.
So I understand the disconnect you would have with him, and I also understand his point of view there. I'd be like, look, dude, I just saw something happen that's terrible. It's made me rethink a lot of my views on how I want to do movies and pictures and stuff like that.
I get that, but you're an actor. you know the disconnect from reality and fantasy.
Well,
That's your job.
Yeah, but
what?
Speaking of which, here's the cool thing when fantasy becomes reality. From another little pop-up thing that I found on Slash Film, Walter White and Jesse Pinkman will appear in Better Call Saul season 6.
Yeah, I was just sending that to Steven while we were talking
Yeah.
on here. They were doing they did a panel, I think at the Paley Fest is what it was, and then they came out and basically said,
yep. They're coming back.
They're coming
Yep.
back. They didn't
Peter
get any
Gould
information
confirmed it.
on how they're
There's
coming
5
back.
seasons of Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And it makes sense if you're going to wrap that show up that like they would kind of, bump into the start of Breaking Bad. So like it works. Like it's kind of cool.
And Better Call Saul's better than Breaking Bad, by the way.
Which,
Just my personal opinion.
If that thing's coming to a wrap up and it's going to end like connecting the two, I think once that's done, I might actually sit and watch the whole thing because I have not watched any of Better Call Saul yet. But also I didn't watch Breaking Bad until it was done. So it was nice to be able to sit down and watch all of it.
Better Call Saul is very good, and a lot of that is because it is just how good Bob Odenkirk is and how good Vince Gilligan and his team are at finding talent and putting them on that show. Like every actor on that show is fantastic and nails their roles. And I'm like 2 seasons behind, and it's
nice.
It's fantastic. It's a great, great show. Willie's like,
I'll be looking forward to seeing it eventually.
Willie,
I like Bob Odenkirk. Love Bob Odenkirk, but I just don't really care about the Breaking Bad. I've watched all of Breaking Bad except for the last half because they separated it the last season in like 2 different ones when it's just 2 different seasons. Why say parts? Whatever. Name it however the fuck you want. But yeah, those last couple of episodes, like 6 or whatever episodes, I just didn't see that last half, and I haven't cared enough to go back and try and finish it.
That's fair. I get it.
And that's saying a lot because I cared enough to go back and finish Lost and Heroes.
Oh, Heroes is a bad
decision. And I don't care about Breaking Bad. Okay. Finishing that off.
So here's the gauge for your bad television choices. Did you watch and did you finish watching The Cape?
I think I watched the first. What is the basic premise? And I'll tell you if I watched it, or like at least the first episode. It's where he gets powers from his kid's comic book or something. He gets the same powers as that or something.
Yeah, he gets rescued by he's like a federal agent or something like that. Nearly gets killed in some kind of bust or whatever. His partner turns on him. I can't remember. And then he gets rescued by a circus troupe led by Keith David, where they all have weird abilities or whatnot. And there's one of these things that is a cape that's like his son's favorite comic. And then he becomes that superhero character.
Yeah, I might have watched part of the first episode. I was like, oh,
I watched the first 9 episodes. There were 4 left. I'm like, I just can't do this anymore. It's that bad. I'm out.
Wait for it. Bachman.
Yeah.
Dude, you gotta stop doing drugs, man. You're having a problem. You have too much crack out over there.
Well, you love it.
For those audio listeners, Bachman went off and just fucked around in the back of his room, bent over.
I own the box set of that show.
Why?
Why?
Because it was like $4.
Someone has to pay me more than that.
I think somebody borrowed it though, because I was trying to pull it off the shelf.
Why would someone borrow that? It's terrible.
Because it's good, terrible.
The only good thing about the cape.
Place, Chris, and you're questioning why someone would want to borrow it?
The only good thing about the cape is the gags that it spawned in Community.
Oh. I didn't really watch Community, so.
Oh, Community's fantastic.
I'm an awesome.
What's that one? Person. The one for 2 first name actor, Pete Davidson or whatever that's in it. Keith Davidson. Yeah, he's great in it.
Or Keith David. Sorry.
Keith
David. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. The Vice President of the United States.
Those butthole eyes. They forever haunt me.
He's the Vice President of the United States in the Saints Row games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Mother effing
kicks him
David.
Right in the nuts in the very beginning.
That's right.
Oh wait, was that a choice? I think you could either kick him in the nuts or punch him in the face.
Yes, that's what was one of the choices in the very beginning.
But why would you not? Why would you choose punch in the face? Who chose that?
I don't know. I love that. Saints Row 4, by the way.
World.
Fantastic game. I love it. I don't know if this new Saints Row game that's coming out is going to be any good, but I'm intrigued.
Yeah. I've said it before and I will say it again. Saints Row 4 has the best intro I have ever had in a game. Do you remember it, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're stopping the missile going, and your character's coming, and then once that song hits, like, wait, it starts coming in slowly, like, it fades in, like, is that what I think it? No, it can't be. It's fucking Aerosmith.
Don't want to miss the
fucking
thing.
Armageddon song. I don't want to close my eyes. Like, no, stop it. Why are you doing this? It's too good. That
And
was
look,
the
as
best.
someone who was in middle school about the same time that it came out, that song was played everywhere at every freaking middle school dance or anything like that. That was always one of the big songs they played was "Don't Want to Close My Eyes."
The only thing about that movie that I mean, not the only thing, but the biggest part that puts in my head when that movie came out is my aunt trying to indoctrinate me into Christianity because, yeah, Armageddon, it's in the Bible. It's nothing to do with this movie, but it's Armageddon. Yeah, I used indoctrinate.
That's
I know
a powerful
words.
word.
I'm not Floyd Mayweather.
You're literate, is what you're
I'll
saying.
call that back any day. I don't care. Fuck him.
Did we have any more on the
Kick my
box
ass. Fuck,
office
at least I can
news?
read.
I realize how
That's it.
tangentially we went.
That's all we got.
All right.
And he can't
Go Sonic. Go Knuckles.
Read from the beginning.
So we have hit that happy point of the show where we start wrapping things up. And how we wrap things up on the show is a segment called What I'm Into. It's how we share with you folks watching live or listening at a later date the geeky and nerdy things we've been getting into, because you may want to go check them out yourselves. And I will kick things off and say I've been trying to stay caught up on my television, caught up on Picard Season 2. This last episode was a filler episode, but I've been enjoying it. And this will tie into some news. They did announce for Picard Season 3, the series finale, the return of the entire Next Gen cast, aside from Wil Wheaton.
Wait, why not Wil Wheaton?
I don't know. But they're bringing back all the original cast. So Michael Dorn, Gates McFadden, Jonathan Frakes, Marina Sirtis, I'm sure LeVar Burton, Brent Spiner. They're all coming back to do Picard Season 3.
So I only know a little bit about Wil Wheaton. Is he all right?
Yeah, he's hosting. He hosts their version of, you know how Walking Dead has their Talking Dead show? Wil Wheaton hosts their version of that for Picard. So
I just wasn't sure if there anything popped up like, oh, he did that.
It's probably,
I wasn't sure.
It's probably
he'd be the one character to not come back.
It's probably more a matter of the characters they're bringing back are all Picard's peers versus a kid that was.
Yeah, I was say, did Wil Wheaton even? Did his character even fucking matter in the show? Really?
No, they haven't brought up Wesley at all in the show at this point in time. But
well, I mean, when he was in the show, did his character really matter?
I mean,
well, yeah, he's the one that drove the ship.
Yeah, he flew the ship.
He did.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never watched New Generation or whatever it's called.
Next Generation.
I'm not a Star Trek dude. I'm barely a Star Wars guy. Barely.
That's fair. So they are bringing back all of those cast members. They released kind of a mini trailer for Picard Season 3. My understanding is they've already filmed most of it and it's in post-production now, so I'm not sure when it's coming out. But I'm intrigued by the fact they're bringing everyone back. And it will potentially solve one of the rumors of, is Worf the captain of the Enterprise still? Because there's a lot of theory and speculation, and they did
Worf
a tie-in.
was captain?
He's captain. He was Picard's first officer when Picard left the Enterprise.
Captain Worf.
And became Admiral Picard.
It's fun to say. Captain Worf.
Michael Dorn has been advocating for years now. He wants to do a Captain Worf television show, but it hasn't happened, which I think would be pretty cool.
It's just fun to say. It's just fun to say. I don't know why. Captain Worf.
Worf's
just a fun word, man. Yeah. Get off my dick.
So I'm caught up on that. I'm one episode behind on Halo. I don't know, guys. It looks cool at times. Supposedly they introduced Cortana this week, so I'm kind of excited to get to that. I just haven't watched it yet. They put the first episode up on YouTube for like 2 weeks for free for people to watch. So I don't know if
you can also just go to Paramount Plus. Even if you don't have an account, they have a list of free episodes, and it is one of them. I watched it on the Paramount Plus app, even though I do not pay for Paramount Plus. I do not have a free trial going, but you can go to the app, and it gives you the option to log in or watch free episodes.
I don't think it's the greatest thing ever, but I don't think it's the worst like some people did. I think it's decidedly average. It's like a C+, B- show for me, where I'm at right now. So it's not like must-see television for me.
Not that I really cared anyway, but once I heard you guys said last time that, just takes his helmet off in the first episode, you see Master Chief right there.
We already had this argument, and it was
Yeah,
already
I know.
explained
It's still
storyline.
stupid.
Bachman watched the episode. There's a reason he takes his helmet off. It's not just to take his helmet off for the camera.
There's a very solid reason. It makes sense in the moment. It works for the storytelling. And if you're going to pay an actor to be in the show, it kind of makes sense. You know, Big Pablo wants to get his face on screen.
Fuck that. No, fuck you. You can easily write it so it doesn't happen. It's that easy.
Well, yeah,
Just
they
don't
could,
write
but
it.
it's also
They
a showrunner who
You made
didn't
a
bother
choice.
to
Fuck
read
you.
the story of Halo and doesn't care about it.
Look,
He's
and
telling the story he wants to tell.
we already had this conversation, but the reason that Chief doesn't take his helmets off in the game is because Chief is a self-insert character. That's not
Yeah,
really what's
because
going
you're
on.
supposed to feel
Yeah.
like you're Master Chief.
That's
Yeah.
not really what's going on with the television show. Is Master Chief is not Willie D. Nelson. Master Chief is not Chris Farrell. It's not Anthony Bachman. It's John
true.
117.
Well, isn't like Master Chief supposed to be like 6'9" or something?
Yeah, they're supposed to be
Yep.
supersized.
Yeah, I remember
Pablo
that. I remember
Schreiber
that.
in that suit probably is
And
damn
in the
near
suit, he was
6'9".
bigger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with that suit on, he's pretty damn tall.
He probably
Like-
is 6'9". Yeah,
I think
that
it-
dude's
I-
like 6'4".
Is that the number that came in my head? Let me look this up right quick because I know
And
they
he's big.
said
He's
it.
big as hell.
I'm curious.
I mean,
I want to know the actual.
Halo does a really good job with some things, and then other times you're like, man, you burned up all the special effects budget somehow, and this just looks really wonky. Like the armor looks fantastic, the battle scenes are pretty cool,
Yeah.
but sometimes the Covenant just you're like, ooh, something didn't go right there. And
Yeah,
part
every
of
once
that,
in a while
7 feet.
they look like they're floating on the screen and they're not
Yeah.
in the reality.
part of that is we've gotten spoiled by what we've seen for special effects on Disney Plus television shows, because
Yeah.
if there's a budget, it's ridiculously high for all of those things to be able to do stuff. As we've seen with Luke Skywalker showing up on screen twice now in The Mandalorian, things like
Sure,
that.
he's kind of slender for being 7 feet. He says he's only 287 pounds. Like, I mean, a lot of muscle. That you're
Well,
kind of
Willie-
slender at that.
He's supposedly pretty jacked, and I guess
I know.
from what I'd seen on people talking about the latest Halo episode, they were all a Twitter because Master Chief is shown in the nude this week, I guess. So
Ah, okay.
Oh, even more maskless. Oh yeah, let's just pepper it in everywhere.
Would
Willie,
you prefer he wore the helmet while he was nude?
yeah, you just want him to wear the helmet only while he takes a shower?
Why are you writing him in the shower? What the
I don't
fuck
know.
happened
I
to
haven't
him in
seen the
shower
episode to
that
tell
we
you.
need to see.
I
What
don't
the-
know. I haven't seen the episode to
Once
tell you
again,
why it
You
happened.
can write anything you want. Why do you
Yeah.
choose to be like this?
They want to see him in the shower. He's the galaxy's largest leprechaun.
Whatever. I'm never gonna watch it. It can fuck right off. I
Other
don't
stuff
care.
I've been getting into. I've been playing a little bit of Pokemon Legends Arceus still because they put out free DLC. They gave me Pokeballs. They had some new Pokemon, so I've just been
Nice.
having fun exploring the
I'm
world.
happy they gave free DLC. I'm happy.
And
to hear that.
I fell back into a trap of a game that I'd been playing on my iPad and phone off and on for like the last 7 or 8 years. And while I don't watch WWE, I love the WWE Supercard game they have out there, which is kind of a deck building game. And I just
played it,
I kind of fell back into it this week and just started playing when I had a couple minutes after work before I had to go start on something. I was like, oh, I haven't played this in a while. Let me fire it up. And they did a really good job of making it so me, someone who hadn't played in 2 years, could pick up the game and start playing again, because all of the cards in my deck were useless at this point in time. But they gave me enough free decks and things like that that I was able to build a relatively decent deck and then start competing and playing in the PvP and unlocking other stuff. So where that game succeeds is they do a good job of making the grind fun, for lack of a better term, of unlocking things. And I think the entire time I've been playing for the last 7 or 8 years, I've put $5 into the game. So I'm kind of okay with that. Willie's
I'm not.
no, you're not okay with that? That's fair.
Don't be a whale.
I put $5 in over 8 years. I'm pretty sure I've got more than $5 of enjoyment out of it, Willie.
Yeah, $5 ain't much.
I've sort of started to shift my thoughts a little bit. I think microtransactions and games as a service like that aren't the greatest thing, but as long as you're someone who can control yourself and not go ridiculous, like I pay $60 for a AAA gaming title and I'll play it for 8 hours and have fun with it. I'm not necessarily opposed to every few months dropping like 10 or $15 in a Pokemon Go to get new raid passes or something like that, or drop like $5 in a game like this every couple months to speed things up and have a bit more fun with it. And I will give them credit here. 2K Games, I think, makes this game. It's a game you don't have to pay microtransactions to advance in and have fun with. the way it's designed is you can unlock things and you can have fun while doing it. It's a slog a little bit doing it, but I still had fun the entire time. So kudos to them. They make a really fun game, but I also realized as I was playing it, I don't know who the fuck 90% of this roster is. Like, I unlock a card and I'm like, this is giving some animation like it's a big deal. Who the hell are you? And I enjoy seeing some of the older cards for like Dean Ambrose. I'm like, oh, you mean John Moxley? Stuff like that. Just being a contrarian. So I've been playing WWE Supercard a little bit. What else did I get into? I bought for the first time in probably 10 years a Ring of Honor pay-per-view event on Fight TV.
Oh shit!
It was only $30, and it was the Supercard of Honor that was done WrestleMania weekend, and it was a ton of fun. And for those that aren't aware, Tony Khan, who owns All Elite Wrestling, just bought Ring of Honor like about a month ago. So they were basically running the show, and it was a lot of fun. It was it had one of the best wrestling matches I'd seen in years from a team called FTR. They then went and had arguably a better match 5 days later on free TV on TBS. It was pretty cool. I've been having some fun consuming my wrestling lately. But yeah, $30 for the Ring of Honor pay-per-view was totally worth it in my mind. I was kind of on the fence. It was like a half hour before it started, and I was watching the free show because they had like the pre-show stuff that was on. They put a couple matches on. I went, okay, this is pretty good. I got nothing else going on tonight. I'll drop $30 on Fight TV and watch this show. And I didn't regret it. I had a lot of fun. I went back and rewatched a couple matches on there too. It was great. I enjoyed it. That's what I'm going to get into. Mr. Willie D. Nelson, why don't you go next?
Me?
You.
So, I've been trying to upgrade my cooking skill a la Sim style by doing it more and more. And I got some equipment that I was needed, like a blender for something I made earlier this week. I made some verde enchiladas, and I made every little part of it. I did everything. Oh, it came out so good. But the one thing, have you guys heard of the YouTuber Binging with Bobbish?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't really watched him that much myself, but I did see someone reviewing a knife he put out, a chef's knife. And the review of it was pretty much like, yeah, this is not for if you're a pro chef or going to the kitchen, not kitchen, like at a restaurant. It's not for you. It's not for you. But a home chef, it works perfectly well. It works just fine. And I was like, you know what? You sold me. So I got an actual good chef's knife, just a sharp one, because all I had was like those serrated fucking chef's knives, which get the job done, but it's whatever. And this, holy shit, it's a world of difference. I fucking like chopping onions is one of my favorite things to do cooking, and this just like, oh my god, it just goes right through.
Just effortless.
Maybe not effortlessly, but it just like just goes right through it. In fact, that blade, I'm gonna say whoever reviewed that, I can't remember that YouTuber reviewed it. I can't remember off the top of my head because I saw it a couple weeks ago, and it sold me on it. I wish I could remember. I could probably go back, but it's a long time ago. But they were absolutely right. I have never really used a nice chef's knife like this, and that thing came out the box sharp as fuck. I nicked my finger with it, and I felt it. I was like, oh. So I instantly went and got a paper towel, wetted it, and just wrapped it around. I was looking for Band-Aids. I can't find my fucking Band-Aids in Neosporin. Luckily, I didn't even need it. The knife was so sharp that no blood was coming out. Nothing.
Yikes.
I was like, okay. That that knife's sharp as hell. Jesus. I was happy with that. But I was having so much fun just chopping everything. But I mean, I'm talking about, I got a 1.5 pounds of tomatillo tomatoes, the little green ones with like the leaves going all the way around.
Are you making your own tomatillo sauce now?
What? No, I'm making my own verde sauce.
Ooh, man.
Yeah, so I got 1.5 pounds of those, about 4 jalapenos. I should have made sure I got all the ribs and the seeds out because I left some, and I was like, a little spice, not bad. No. When I first blended, I was like, nom. No, that heat is there, and it's a little bit obtrusive for my taste.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not one who likes a lot of heat without flavor, and that's just heat. I was like, I know jalapenos aren't like the hottest, but still, it's like too much heat for what I was trying to go for. Yeah, but yeah, chopped up an onion and like, you know, just chopped it in half and then chopped it down there. So not chopping it too much because the blender is going to do that later. I'd put those all in there. I'm sure there was something else. I forget. I put it in there. I roasted or broiled those in the oven to get some nice char on it.
Nice.
And spritz them with olive oil, of course, first. Make sure those are nice and charred. Flipped them and stuff. And also 2 fresh limes. Just chop them in half, put them in there. And then after I take them out a time or two of broiling and rotating, I get a click, what how it's called, the thing that goes in. You use it to grab things. The long thing. I know the term for it. Brain.
A grabber.
Tongs. Yeah. Why do you guys help me out when I did this?
I was trying.
Yeah, tongs. Jesus Christ, my brain. Yeah, I just used that to flip everything around because that shit was still fucking. I use a Pyrex glass rectangle one to broil them all in because it works. And I'm also using that to cook the enchiladas in later in the oven, so it works out all which ways. But anyway, yeah, I use the tongs to pretty much rotate them all and grab the limes and just squeeze them out after a time or two of broiling. So they even have some nice color to them too. I mean, they're not going in the blender. I'm just broiling with the stuff and with the lime juice. Oh, lime juice tastes so good on stuff. Fresh lime juice.
It sure does. Did you use a little bit of lime zest also?
I did not because I was broiling it all with it.
Okay,
so I didn't think it was.
I'm trying.
And that I added an extra lime to the recipe anyway. So I was like, it's the perfect amount of lime in that sauce. And then I took it all out. I also added whole garlic cloves to it after a time or two of broiling, not in the very beginning because you don't want to overdo garlic. And then I put all that into a blender and blended up to my own verde sauce. Oh, do you want to know what I did to the chicken? Do you want to know what I did to that chicken?
What'd you do to that chicken?
I don't want to know what you did to that chicken.
And I put some more onions in there, cooked it after the chicken was done, and then I put all that, put some water in it, and then I put an equal amount of wine into it. I'm cooking with wine. And I don't even like the taste of wine, but it cooks. The 3 times I've done this, the wine taste is cooked out. Like there's no that wine taste. Like when you're drinking wine, this wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had none of that. It just adds the acidicness and the sweetness, and that's all it does. And I'm happy for that. And yeah, pretty much let that sit in the thing, just simmering for a good 30 minutes, and you're supposed to pull out the chicken and shred it up. And it was pretty much already shredding by itself by that point. Oh, those chicken thighs were nice. Yeah, and I put them on seasonings into it, blam, blam, blam. And it all came in, and you just wrap them in a burrito and cook them in that same Pyrex thing for a while. I did put it in there before to try to get the tortilla shells to cook a little bit, to harden up a little bit, fry them up a little bit. Just because last time I did, they were a little too soft. Like they're a little kind of mushy almost. And they kind of did that a little bit this time, but less so. So bake them for longer next time. So it's an evolution, man. You get better and you get better and you get better. And these came out great. Shredded the Monterey Jack and the cheddar to put in. Done. But yeah.
So
yeah,
Wille,
that's probably my most intense cooking recipe as of now. What's up?
When you make this stuff, are you taking any pictures of it or anything like that? Have you started like your own little Wille Cooks Instagram page?
No, I can take a picture of the leftovers. There's still plenty of leftovers right now. Like I can take a picture of the leftovers, but the pictures, what are they going to do? You can't go, oh, that sauce. I had to modify my sauce. Like I said, it had too much heat. So I had some Roma tomatoes in my fridge. So I pulled those out and chopped them in quarters. Mm-hmm. And I was adding little by little to those. It kind of muted down the hotness level. And it also kind of gave it a little bit of more earthy, like flavor to it. So It was not bad. Actually pretty good. Worked out well. I was doing it to mute down the hotness. And it just had another effect to it. And I was very happy with that. Start out by just adding some more salt because it needed salt anyway. Like, yeah, Yeah, and I was just blending it more and more with the extra stuff, and it came out so good. I've also made last weekend honey cornbread muffins. Those came out good too. Although the first time I made a mistake because the recipe said to put all your dry ingredients, mix it around a bit, and then put all your wet ingredients, mix it around, put it in there. And they said to put the honey in the wet stuff, and I was like, all right, did that. And I started stirring around, and when I started pouring all the wet into the dry to mix it up, all the honey pretty much did was sink to the bottom and layered on the fucking bottom of that bowl. I was like, fuck. So the second time I made it, I was smarter this time. Mixed all the wet ingredients minus the goddamn honey.
The honey. There you go.
And then as I put the wet into the dry, that's when I added the honey right into the bowl with the dry already. So it all just mixed up. And yeah, it came out a little better. I think although I still need to do next time I make them, I think I'm definitely going to, when I preheat the oven, I'm definitely going to preheat the muffin tin as well. Because I think it's just not getting done enough in the center. The tops are definitely done. Or I just need to not put as much in. I think that's probably the go-to. Probably preheat and put less in it. I think that's what I need to do.
Well, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I like these Willie's cooking adventure stories.
And what else? Oh, yeah. I know, of course, I might have mentioned this. I'm also baking my own bread a lot, too.
Willie
Which
the
is-
home cook.
I got a baking or a pizza stone pretty much to put the bread on the dough. Because, boom, you make sure that's definitely preheated with the oven. I actually broil it for like 10 minutes before I even start the preheating. So make sure the stone is nice and hot on top. And then when you let it preheat for a good while, so you make sure that stone gets into the good temperature throughout. So when you put your dough on, it instantly starts cooking that bottom, and that makes it really not stick to it. That's the key. When I did that bread, I had to wiggle a little bit, but there was nothing on that stone left. There was nothing stuck to it at all. Like, I wanted to stick a little bit. I just had to rotate a little bit. Came free. But yeah, bread has been easy. Actually, I meant to do this. I got a little notebook here that first things first I did was put measurement conversions from cups to grams for different types of things. Of course, you got the bread flour, regular flour, and just your normal dry goods, granulated sugar, brown sugar, and then just and a whole nother thing for honey, molasses, and syrup. Just because you need to make sure you use by weight, not by cups, because cup manufacturers, there's variations between them. A cup is not a cup for different ones. So grams is a gram though. And then first recipe in there is for my artisan bread. And I messed up a little bit and had to cross out something, but yeah, I put that in. And so everything's here. I'm going to start putting recipes in there, and it's going to be nice.
Cool. Willie's Cooking Adventures. I think he needs a Willie's Cooking Adventures Instagram or something.
Indeed.
Don't tell me how to live my life, you motherfuckers, but it's a good idea.
There's
Picture
a lot,
didn't happen, man.
There's a
Picture
lot of
didn't
cool
happen.
food stuff on Instagram where people will
Yeah.
share recipes and share what they've created and stuff like that. It's really kind of cool.
Oh, yeah, but yeah, once again, like, you can only do so much with taking a picture of it. Like,
That's
people
true.
can't taste it.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, and I also made my own taco seasoning, too, by just mixing different spices. I mean, I followed a recipe, I'm not going to lie. I didn't just like, yeah, this will be good, and that'll be good. No, I fucking followed the recipe, man. But I got a little container that I put it in, and boom. It works out great. I love that container, too. That container was a good idea for that taco season in particular. It's just, the only thing for that I didn't already have for the taco seasoning is I had to go get garlic powder and onion powder because since I've been cooking, I don't need garlic powder and onion powder because I just use actual garlic and actual onions. So I don't need the powder. So I had to go get that, and I mean, garlic powder and onion powder are good, when you do need it. I mean, if I have an option, because once again I told you, chopping onions is my favorite goddamn thing to do. Don't try and take that away from me.
I would never dream of it.
Love chopping onions.
I won't take your dream from you, Willie. I'm
Thank
here.
you.
I'm not a dream crusher. Yet.
You're a dream weaver, baby.
Sure.
And I did watch a weird movie. What was it called? It was
Willie's
is
Wonderland.
Ethan Hawke. Predestination. That was what it was. It came out in 2015. It's a weird movie. I'm not going to spoil anything of it. It's weird. It's worth a watch. The story, you're going to be guessing, making theories the whole time. You're going to be wrong. You're going to be partially right, and you're going to be wrong until the end. You're like, oh, and then that's how it goes.
All right. I think that's one that Douglas Movie's been recommended to watch a bunch, and he still never watched it.
Predestination.
Yeah, that's his Fifth Element.
God, why'd you have to bring that up? Now he's going to push it back even further.
Sorry, what? I wasn't paying attention.
See,
I doubt that.
What?
I said
What?
I doubt that.
what?
Huh? What?
You know you heard it. You're just propagating this fucking joke.
Huh?
Just fucking watch the movie, Chris.
I watched plenty of movies.
Drink this crushed up thrashed apple.
Multipass.
Bachman, what you been getting into? Wrap things up for us.
See, last couple of weeks, I got to use some of my power tools, which was fun. I had taken off our handrail when we first moved in the house back in October, and it's just been in the garage this whole time. Finally got around to sanding it off, got it stained, got like 5 or 6 layers of clear coat put on it, painted all the hardware with just black Krylon spray paint, and the stain itself is real dark black stain. So yeah, now our handrails, you can still see wood grain in it, but it's been reinstalled and is up and looks dark as shit. I love it. Got our mantle hung up on our new fireplace where we got the wall extended all the way up to the ceiling above where the fireplace was. And then what was the other thing? Oh, I got to use my Sawzall yesterday because Jana took 3 rose bushes out, just dug the suckers right out of the ground by herself over the last couple of weeks as she's been starting to work on the yard stuff. And yesterday I took my Sawzall to those little fuckers and made them fit in the trash can. So they're not bushes anymore. They're little tiny twigs. But yeah, we've been updating all the stuff in and outside of the house. She's gone crazy. The backyard looks awesome. And I'm loving having a mowing service because our yard's been mowed twice and I haven't touched the fucking yard. So that's been fantastic. We got both of us finished off the new archive for Dead by Daylight and kind of taking a break now because just the game's been crazy. They've been trying a bunch of different MMR matchmaking stuff, and some days it's been good and other days it's been god awful. And so it's nice to have the Rift done. And honestly, I'm probably not buying the next battle pass for the behavior for Dead by Daylight just because it's time to take a break for that till maybe the anniversary event rolls around. Just because it's grind after grind after grind, and it's getting kind of super repetitive. But I did finish off getting every achievement except one in Ghost of Tsushima. Finished the game. The only achievement I don't have is the one where you kick somebody off of a building and they die from the fall. So it's I'm going to get that on my second playthrough, so I'm not worried about it. So since I was finally done with Ghost of Tsushima, I actually dove into Uncharted, and I'm now 50% through the first Uncharted game. Had an absolute blast with the shooting the rocket launcher machine gun backward sequence as you're being chased through the jungle. And these fools are coming at you in, Jeeps and ATVs, all stuff, and you're just unloading with the machine gun while the cinematographer chick that you found is driving the Jeep. That whole sequence was just a fucking blast. The driving around the jet ski thing sucks though, because you can't drive and aim and shoot at the same time. So that part was really annoying when you hit L2 to zoom in to shoot, your engine dies, which it just seems poorly designed. But it's the first game, so I'm giving it some leeway because it's not going to be the very best because it's the first one. But yeah, so I'm halfway through the first one already, and yeah, I've got them all lined up. So I'm going to do all of I'm going to do the 3 Uncharted's, then I'm going to do the 3 BioShocks, then I'm going to do Mass Effect Legendary.
You're missing a couple of games in the Uncharted. There's 4 of them actually.
Yeah, but I have 3 of them I got for free on PlayStation,
Okay,
so that's
fair.
what I'm playing.
Well, they gave the 4th one for free at some point with PS Plus.
Did they? Well, then maybe I do have them all 4 then.
And there's also another one, The Lost Legacy, that is kind of an offshoot. It's the Hobbs and Shaw of the Uncharted series.
The Hobbs and Shaw of Uncharted. Yeah,
yeah, pretty much is, because it takes... these games only get better, Bachman.
Yeah.
They only get better and better and better.
Yeah, And there's been a couple of situations where, like, I'm sitting there trying to do little climbing challenges where you're doing the Dude Raider stuff where you're trying to jump from ledge to ledge, and like some of them, like, it's a little wonky, like the controls aren't fantastic. You know, I go to shoot a gun and I kind of shoot next to a guy and I see him fall over. It's like, it's an old game. Like, shit like that happens. So yeah, I'm not trying to judge it by today's current standards. So it makes it, it's a little more fun if you're just not too fucking overly critical of an old ass game.
2007, I want to say.
Something like
first
that,
game?
yeah.
I want to say 2007 because the second one came out in 2009.
Yeah,
I do remember that.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not trying to be overly critical, but yeah, having fun with it. And yeah, I hit the 50% point yesterday, so I'm halfway through the first one. And then yeah, I've got those. I've got like 9 games lined up. And then yeah, because I keep looking at that, going, well, I don't need to buy Lego Skywalker Saga yet. Like, I've got 9 games lined up. I can wait for it. But then last night, Jed, I was just like, we need another game we can play together because I'm sick of playing Dead by Daylight and Fortnite. It's like, well, we could get Lego, but I'm not sure if I want to spend $60 on it or wait for Christmas and get it on sale. But that will probably be the game we get next because, yeah, I had when they did the first complete version of the Star Wars Legos, which was the first 6 films on Xbox. And that was one of those games where I'd gotten some ridiculous thing, like 80% of it complete when I ended up like getting rid of my Xbox 360 and selling off all my games. As like it ridiculously, I would want to get the Skywalker one and actually 100% it because I'm crazy and I just love those Lego games. They're super fun, but it'll be a fun one that we can play together because you have when you do the dual screen on the Lego games, those are always a blast. Other than that, we've been watching a bunch of stuff. We got Sling back, so we got access to TV. They added an on-demand feature for Sling, so you basically can watch old episodes of TV shows that they have in their catalog. So she found that they had on there one that she had told me to watch because she loved it, that I'd always wanted to watch but never got to see. So we started watching the Face Off show that was on Sci-Fi USA back in the day.
Great show.
Weirdly, they have almost all of the episodes. We don't know why, but from season 1, all they have is the season finale, episode 8. They don't have the first 7 episodes. But then starting with season 2, episode 1, they have every episode to like season 14. So we don't know why. It's probably something with some weird contract somewhere, but the first 7 episodes are missing. So we just started with season 2 and just started watching that like yesterday or Friday. But yeah, so we've already watched like the first 8 episodes, I think. We've torn through it. And yeah, it was great seeing like the first episode where like Tom Savini showed up and like, they're meeting these badasses in special effects. And yeah, just some of the stuff these artists are capable of doing in like a 24-hour period. It's just insane. Some of it's just so the concepts are so amazing. The actual finished products are so good. And then some of the bad ones are so bad that it's super entertaining to see. So yeah, we've been enjoying that. Last night we almost finished the second episode. We started watching the Chucky show, which is the USA-based show done by Don Mancini, the guy that created Child's Play. This is the show that they did while the other group of people were off making that new reboot movie, which was meh. But yeah, while that was happening, Brad Dourif was doing the voice of the doll over on a USA show where they have Chucky on TV now, and it's fucking great. Like, they don't go overboard with the violence too much. It kind of eases you in for the show, but like it's like seeing some of the kills they've done on network, not network, but cable TV. It's kind of impressive. Like what USA was able to say, yeah, no, go for it. It's a fucking horror show. And it's weird because the kids that are involved, like the main cast, it's supposed to be middle schoolers. So they're like, 6th, 7th graders. And it's really good acting. It's some really cool special effects. It's awesome seeing Devon Sawa as the dad in the show. And he plays a pair. Yeah, he plays a pair of twins. So he's the dad of the main character, and he's also a dad of another side character, the cousin.
What does he look like now?
It's pretty cool because he looks very different as the two characters, but it's awesome seeing him on there. But yeah, so we've been enjoying that, watching the first 2 Chuckies, and then of course, we got Sling back. So the first thing I started doing was on the on-demand. They have the last 10 episodes of Rampage and Dynamite. And so I've been catching up on my wrestling. And so I pointed out to Sling and I tweeted at like AEW and Tony Khan, super fucking annoying. TNT and TBS do their thing. It's like, hey, we're going picture in picture. You won't miss a thing. All of that shit's cut. All of that shit is cut when you rewatch it on Sling they replace the commercials that played at the time and the side-by-side picture-in-picture stuff and show you new commercials. So it literally cuts the commercial. You watch 6 commercials. It comes back, and 3 minutes of the match has kept going, and you have no fucking idea what happened. So that part of the on-demand feature fucking sucks, because it's like, TBS and TNT, they have their contract written a certain way so that AEW can keep showing what's happening live during the commercials instead of recording those and playing them. Like when it's on DVR, when I went and rewatched Dynamite from this week, I'm seeing the picture-in-picture during the commercials, so I'm not fast-forwarding. But on the on-demand feature on Sling, they replace the commercials with new commercials they want to show you. It's like, well, that sucks, because now you're actually cutting out show content. But other than that, it's been awesome. So yeah, I've been catching up with, like, I got to see kind of like the fall of like the Inner Circle falling apart. I got to see Wardlow going crazy against MJF. I got to see what Chris had talked about, the back and forth between MJF and CM Punk before Revolution this year. I'm almost caught up to all the Revolution stuff, and then I'll probably watch try to find like a YouTube video that's got like all the highlights from Revolution, and then get caught the rest of the way up. So yeah, at this point, I might actually start getting the pay-per-views again, because yeah, AEW is just so goddamn entertaining. And then yeah, getting introduced to new characters. Like I'd never seen Switchblade wrestle before. I'd never seen Keith Lee. I did watch.
He's limitless.
He's limitless. Getting caught up on the whole Blackpool Combat Club thing, where fucking Bryan Danielson and Moxley are just putting together the most violent bastards in the world.
Did you watch Rampage from this Friday?
Yes, I've seen the Yuta match. The Wheeler Yuta and Moxley was fucking fantastic.
They made that kid a star.
Yeah, that fucking match. Because yeah, like I remember, I saw the first match with him and fucking Moxley where he just stomped him in like 30 seconds. Like it was ridiculous. But yeah, like the idea that you've got Regal running around leading fucking Moxley and Danielson, and they just beat people up enough to see if they're really tough. Like that's such a great concept for a team, because it's like none of the guys on this team even really like each other, but they just happen to be the toughest fucking bastards in the world, so they're gonna stand shoulder to shoulder. It's like, I like that, because it's not like, oh, we love each other, we're brothers, we're family. It's like, no, he's fucking tough and I'm fucking tough, and we're gonna go see how tough you are. It's like, goddamn.
But would they be considered the toughest guy in Letterkenny?
I would put John Moxley up against Wayne any day.
John Moxley.
What about Joint Boy?
Oh, Joint Boy ain't got shit on Moxley.
Really? What about fake Vin Diesel in there? I forget, what is his name? Tyson?
Tyson? Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah,
He's fake Vin Diesel. You can't change my mind.
he does look like it. But yeah, no, I'd put Moxley and Danielson up against those dudes any day, and that would be a fun watch to watch. But yeah, so it's been fun catching up on all the AEW stuff. And yeah, watching some of the tag team matches where like I was never really a big fan of FTR, but yeah, seeing one of those matches they did against the Young Bucks, like I was just it was fantastic. It was really impressive. So yeah, I'm almost caught up. I think I have like 5 more Dynamites and Rampages to catch up between. Like I watched the new ones from this week, but I haven't seen like the stuff post Revolution leading up to this week. So I've got, I think, 4 episodes of each to watch. So yeah, I've been watching that as I've been doing stuff in the house. I actually did the Girlfriend's Daughter fashion. I took her dad's comics and actually cataloged them for her, cleaned them all up, threw away the old bags and boards, put them all in new bags and boards, alphabetized them, and put them in a new comic box for her. I did that while I was watching wrestling yesterday. So it's nice to now have, wrestling on demand that I can put on the background and just watch that stuff as I'm catching up on it. And yeah, just really enjoying some of the new characters I haven't seen wrestle before, and then also seeing just like the crazy shit with like QT Marshall's just still being an egghead, and just AEW is so much fun. I love it. It's such a blast. And I'm always happy when I can see a boy and his dinosaur. Those are the funnest matches ever. Jungle Jack Perry and Luchasaurus are the coolest fucking tag team I think in the history of wrestling. Like they're just fucking entertaining. And goddamn, that Jungle Boy is a tough fucking kid. And I don't know how he wrestles with 40 pounds of hair. Like,
I don't either.
That dude is just a giant mop top. It's crazy how big he is muscular-wise, and yet his hair is still so much bigger than he is. But yeah, so been enjoying the hell out of that. And yeah, that's what I've been doing lately, and what I'll be doing later.
Jungle
watch some more
Boy,
wrestling.
I say this half jokingly, has prettier hair than his girlfriend.
Fair enough.
I get told the same thing myself.
And Anna Jay's got a nice head of hair on her, but Jungle Boy's hair is just fantastic.
The boy's got some fantastic hair. Yeah, so I'm getting back into AEW and loving it. That's what I've been up to.
Well, I'm glad that Bachman's all elite.
Damn right.
Willie, are you all elite yet?
Let me know when the game comes out. I'll let you know if it's any good.
I'm looking forward to it, actually.
I would have to see a review and see how it plays. We'll see then.
They're working.
I am interested though.
They're working with what's the company? Ukes, I think is what it is. That used to do.
And you know what Ukes did?
It's true.
Ukes did the N64 games.
What, the two Ukes? The two Ukes?
Yeah, I know what you're doing there, Bachman. We're not going back to my cousin Vinny.
And before we tie a bow on it there, the person at AEW who's responsible for working the console game is one Kenny Omega, who is a big video game fan and enthusiast himself. So they'll take their time.
And I believe, don't they have Aubrey Edwards helping with all that stuff too? Because she's
been
like married
working-
to a game designer.
Well, she was a game designer and stuff before.
Yeah, she was a game designer, is married to a game designer. So yeah,
she's
I
been
think
working
she's
the
involved
mobile
in all
games.
that stuff too.
Like
Yeah,
she does the Elite General Manager game and the casino game that they don't talk about anymore.
Wait, they came out with that?
yeah,
The Elite General Manager game's out.
yeah. It's a
When did
phone
that come
app
out?
one,
Because I
right?
remember seeing news about it. It wasn't
6,
out
9
then. I was
months
like,
ago, maybe a year.
no, 'cause
Yeah.
I looked for it. It wasn't there.
It's out.
It seemed like I looked like November or something.
No, it was out then. Because they released
fucking-
DLC.
Why
with
you
CM
lying
Punk
to me?
then.
Is it Apple exclusive or something?
No, it's on
Maybe
both.
he can't
I
get
have
it
on
on
both
his
my
phone.
devices.
I'm sorry. Did I just hear you have both Android and iOS?
Maybe when Willie searched for it, he spelled it wrong.
Yes.
It is 3 letters.
Willie, All Elite Wrestling General Manager came out July 15th, 2021.
There you go.
Well, maybe my time frame is just fucked up. Like, you have both iOS and Android. What is wrong with you?
I have an iOS tablet and an Android phone because Android tablets suck.
Oh, fair enough. I do like my iPad. It's
Good
got
boy.
some good comics on it.
All right.
No matter how much Amazon tries to ruin the Comixology app.
God, they sure do. They sure do. On that note, though, everyone, friendly reminder, we do stream this show live every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at www.geeks.live and also www.nerds.live. You can find us on both those sites because we like to make it easy to find us. And I did see we had a few folks in the chat room today, so thank you everyone who did join us in the chat room, and we hope you come back next Sunday for more of our shenanigans. But before we shut down this live stream, you guys have any final parting thoughts for the people?
I'm going to go find my copy of The Cape.
And destroy it, right?
And burn it.
And watch it.
That'll be $4 worth of fun.
Will
I'll
it
give
blend?
you that.
I bet it'll blend.
Watch it. Love me some Keith.
Really, you're going back that far? Will it blend?
Yeah, why not?
I haven't heard. I already thought about that. Not how many years?
Look, we started the show talking about the history of the internet with different bits. We're going to
We
end
didn't
it talking about
start
the history of
that.
the internet. Will it blend,
All right.
really? Will
And
it
I'm
blend?
going to state that I'm also working on a side project. It's a solo podcast called Tit Talk with Willie. I'm kidding, of course, but yes. No.
No.
I'm going to go read my Fangoria.
Don't go check out Willie's new show because it sounds like
What's
you'd
it called?
be indulging in his ridiculousness. But thank you everyone for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.